Oh yeah, ask away, man. I'm open book. Like I can talk forever long you need me to. All right. My name is James Lano, aka Laynoprod, aka Lano, aka the Filipino Van Gogh. You see the beret, I'm an artist, I'm a producer, also an engineer. I do film photography on the side. Always been into art as a kid, drawing. I did a little bit of graffiti in middle school. Um, I realized I'm not the type of kid to sneak out late at night. I was too much of a good kid, like I can't risk getting caught by the feds or my parents. So like, let me transfer that creative energy in high school to start doing music. So I started learning a little bit of FL Studio just through YouTube. I was born '97, so I'm 24 now. I'm gonna turn 25 in September.
Hey.
Like my older siblings, they didn't have the internet, and then they got the internet. I grew up with the internet, but then like the advent of social media, like the last of the millennials to say. I don't know what generation it is, but we saw, the MySpace, the Facebook, the Instagram. YouTube was big, man, in middle school, going to high school, and I didn't have anyone in my family that was in the music industry. So I'm born and raised here, San Fernando Valley, California. It's in LA County. It's just a little bit north of LA, past the Hollywood Hills.
Right.
That whole area, right? The 818 San Fernando Valley. Like I didn't have any connects to the music or entertainment industry. Like my family being Filipino immigrants, they came from Philippines. They arrived here in America. I was born in America and in LA. And man, like I knew I wanted to do music in high school because when I learned stuff in YouTube about hip hop culture, and I have two older siblings. They introduced me to '90s and early 2000s hip hop and R&B. Like from everyone from Tupac and Dr. Dre and Bone Thugs to like, all everyone in the 2000s. And then growing up in that 2000s era, then 2010 hit. It's like everyone's starting to post online. So there's all these different kinds of genres happening, and I'm here learning how to make beats, and I'm also rapping too. I'm learning how to record, right? Learning how to record music. Me and my cousin Russell Groovy, um, we're both the same age, and we both like been making music since like 2010, and like posting it on YouTube, SoundCloud, I think Bandcamp at the time. We make little CDs that we put like our tracks in, and we give it out to people in school, like that mixtape shit, like like we did all that stuff. And it was like the joy we got from making the music and the response that we got from our friends or family. We're like, damn, even though we're not like the best, or like, there's a lot of room for us to grow, we had fun doing it. So we're like, okay, how can we make this an actual career? Like, I know we're all doing this for fun. And then I learned more stuff on YouTube. Like, in high school, I did really well in school, man. Like not too different from a lot of Asian kids that grow up. Like I mean, come on, like I grew up from a lower middle income family. So my family's not rich at all. We really struggled with finances growing up. I actually moved like more than 10 times in my whole childhood, and it's all within the valley. Like we kept moving because like we couldn't afford rent, so we had to hop from apartment to apartment. um so, and I wanted to pursue music, which was not like profitable at all. Like, my mom and dad tell me, yo, be a lawyer, a doctor, engineer, like get some stable shit. Like, but at the end of the day, education is kind of your like maybe your key to making some moves. So it was a good deal of learning on the internet, as well as like, okay, in high school, I was top of my class in high school. Like, no joke. Shout out Birmingham. But I'm not smart. I'm not the smartest at all. I tell people all the time, even though I was rank one, it's because I chose classes I knew I was gonna get an A in. Like I only had one B in my whole high school like career, bro. Like and and that put me above people, but it didn't mean like people thought I was the smartest person. I'm like, nah, man. Like I just am consistent. I always had that consistent work ethic.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it was my grades that got me to the college I applied for, which is USC Thornton School of Music, which was my dream school because they had a major called music industry. I'm like, music industry, what the fuck is that? Like, you can't. It was music business basically. But I found that out from a college fair around junior year, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know anything about music business or having a career in music, but I think if I go to this school, I might meet people or professors that have their foot in the game already, right? So, I applied and I didn't have the highest ACT, SAT scores, none of that shit. Like, I think I had really good teachers that I was cool with in high school that really like taught me like, okay, this is how you get into college. Like, this is what they're looking for. And I chose that major because I don't know how to play instruments, like my talents range from like drawing, graffiti, and then like making beats on the computer and recording raps. Like, I had the ear for music because I grew up with it. My parents put me onto 70s, 80s music, older siblings, 90s, 2000s music. I grew up 2000, 2010 music. So wide variety of music. I had the ear and I was like, damn, I can't even play an instrument. Like, how am I gonna get into music school? But that program, music industry, music business, like, you don't need to know how to play. You don't need to audition. You just need to send 3 videos saying why you want to be in the school, and you need to send 3 of your work. So I sent 3 of my beats, and then like 3 of videos saying like, oh, I want to go because I want to, start my own label. But like, that's all cap. Like, I don't want to start my own label. Not right now. Like, I'm focused on being an artist and a producer. But
Right.
but I don't know. It got me in, right? And I'm like, okay, shit. This place is expensive as hell, man. USC, like 70K tuition per year. I ain't gonna cap. Like, this place is crazy expensive, man. I'm like, why am I, bro? I couldn't afford my first few years there. Like, but I had a lot of help from my I was in a church community in college. Shout out to everyone there. I wasn't even close to all these people, but they were like, they saw my passion for music. They saw, this guy's gonna go somewhere. I did like a GoFundMe campaign because I was short a couple $1,000s on my tuition. They helped me get through freshman year, man. It was such a blessing. It played out somewhat okay. I'm like in 30K student loan debt. I didn't fully get out free of charge, but 30K student loan debt is a big deal, but it's not as bad as some other people I know from USC. So, but hopefully I get rid of that soon, man. I'm just putting it out there. But point being, like, whatever you guys believe in, I believe in God. Like, I think I had a purpose of being there because, I'm not saying for people that are like, I don't know, students or like thinking of going to music school, I say, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna be real. Like, if I knew what I knew now from the internet, I could have saved thousands of dollars, bro. Like,
right.
And it's funny because I work at USC now. I hope they don't get at me for this, but I'm just being real. I'm keeping it 100, man. Like, everyone knows the elephant in the room. Like, why are we paying for music classes when I can learn this on YouTube for free?
Right. I swear.
What I got from USC, though, that I'm forever thankful for, is the network. But the network only works for you if you go out there and get it. They're not just gonna be like, hey, welcome to class. Here's this connection. Here's this connection.
Right.
Nah, like, they're not even gonna tell you. Like, you gotta really go for that shit. And man, in college, I'll tell you now about college. I'll try to keep it short. But this is like very integral to who I am, you know what I mean? In college, right? So I'm there. Now you know the perspective. Damn, like, I can't even afford this school. I gotta make every second count. My first 2 years there, I'm dorming and I'm not partying like the rest of the kids, which the con of that is I think if I did go in those parties, I could have probably expanded my network more, built more relationships. But I don't blame myself because I really treated my dorm room like a studio. Like, right now, I finally moved to my own, place, and my room is my studio. Like, when I was with my family, it was hard for me to have a space to create, like, I would make beats in the living room. It's too loud. The fam gotta sleep. Like, I'm like, fuck, I didn't really have my own room many times in my life. And like, when I was in college, I finally had my own room. So I was like, this is my studio, man. I gotta make it count. I gotta make beats. I gotta record songs. I gotta be creative and use the space, So that was like my mindset for the first 2 years. But junior year, when I started networking more, talking to people in class, going to concerts, performing in open mic nights, collaborating with other producers and artists, really connecting the dots, I was like, oh shit, like, all these people that I'm around are way more valuable than I think. They say your network is your net worth, right? So I did that more and I got more serious. I learned more like, okay, how do I put myself out there? Okay, I'm like working on the craft. Yeah, I'm uploading it, but how do I market it? How do I do this, that? How do I get in touch with people? So started doing that more junior and senior year. And I was always consistent. Like, you could check my YouTube. My YouTube is like probably the only public place where you could go back to 10, 2011, and still find videos of me rapping, making beats. Like I rarely delete shit on YouTube. Like I tell that to people all the time, and I leave it there. It's very cringe. Don't get me wrong. You're like, man, this guy is. But people see the progression, the evolution. They're like, damn, like Leno's still doing this shit. Like he really set his mind to it. And you know, I had many peers, and it was cool. Like I respect anyone that tried music for fun and whatnot. But it was nice to know that I kept going because I knew early on, at least my junior senior year of high school, I want to do this for my life. You know, like the fulfillment I get from the process of making music and being a creative overall, whether it's visual arts or music, like man, it's like none like any other. And then it's just figuring out how to monetize and make that a sustainable living. That's what I'm grinding and figuring out every day. So I'm in college, right? And you know, I also minor in audio recording, which doesn't mean shit, but you do learn some fundamentals. You get a little bit of your foot in the door with studios because you know the professors there are actual engineers. We have studios at USC. Um, Shout out to my professor, Brian Malouf. He's this dope mixing engineer. He did Bad for Michael Jackson. He did a lot of legendary stuff, and he still mixes till this day. Gave some of the most practical advice right when I was in my last semester of senior year. He brought on a guest. Shout out Colin McDowell. He's a founder of a plugin company. So you know audio plugins, right?
Yeah.
There's this plugin company called McDSP. They make fire plugins. Um, Mike Dean works with Kanye, Travis. Like he uses a bunch of those plugins. That's what got me more into it. Cause in hip hop, like early college, high school, I was like underground shit. I like the people on YouTube that are rapping that aren't big. I like that underground shit. Fuck trap music. Yo, what is this auto tune? But shout out to my homie Nathan. He knows who he is. He's a drummer friend of mine from my church a while ago, and he put me on trap music. He showed me a little bit of Travis Scott, a little bit of Metro Boomin, and I'm like,
Okay.
yo, this shit actually hard. Like, yo, 80, okay, I gotta learn how to make this shit. Cause before that, I was making like boom bap. Like I learned hip hop through, you know, Alchemist, Ninth Wonder, Jay Dilla, DJ Premier. Like I really studied the history, you know, like watch like you guys are from New York, right? Like so I watched Wild Style. I watched a bunch of like documentaries on the birth of hip hop, you know, like I was a hip hop head, a purist at one point where I was like, fuck this auto tune shit, but fuck this trap shit. But then, you know what I realized? Like when I started making beats, right, the ones that really stood out, I had this beat called X2C, which is like this old soul sample. I pitched it up. I was influenced by Jay Dilla, DJ Premier, Alchemist at the time. I didn't really listen to Kanye West like that.
Right.
But then my homies from high school, that when I dropped that instrumental EP in junior year, they were like, yo, this like some old school Kanye shit, like that chipmunk soul. Like, and I was like, because everyone was listening to Graduation at that time, College Dropout. Like, I think 808s and Heartbreak came around during middle school, and Yeezus and all this shit, and Dark Twisted Fantasy. And I'm like, I was sleeping on it. I'm still till this day, I'm very slow with new music. I tend to consume music very slowly and very intentionally.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So I started checking out like Kanye's stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, this is some Kanye. Now Kanye's like my favorite producer, artist, as well as Travis Scott, because my homie Nathan put me onto his music. I listened to Birds in college, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, and I'm like, yo, this is the most beautiful auto tune I've ever heard. Like, and I always struggled as an artist because of my rap voice, you know, like my lyrics were cool. I had a couple bars, you know, like wordplay and shit. I love performing. There's many videos of me on YouTube in open mic nights where I get the crowd involved. That MC, that's why I learned the MC shit, you know, like master of ceremony. You got to get the crowd going and back and forth, the art of performing. But I didn't give a fuck. Like I would forget my lyrics, which is still my biggest fear. Like I would forget my lyrics. I kept the show going. I kept people clapping, and you know, that MC shit. Shout out Karis One, you know, like but man, like I didn't like think like singing, which I've always been around. Like I'm Filipino. Like if you have Filipino homies, you know, them and all their moms like are doing karaoke nights every night, and it's a damn near competition. Like everyone's trying to outdo each other, whoever the next Mariah Carey is, you know.
Right.
I'm like, man, this is hilarious. But the singing was always a part of my ear, part of my culture, part of my family, you know, being Filipino and shit, and learning all this music, 70s all the way to 2000s, 2010. And like, I never really pursued it. And then when I found out auto-tune and I heard my voice with auto-tune in college, I put out so Ecstasy was like my first big track where like everyone, my friends around me were like, yo, this boom bap Kanye soul sample shit's fire. The next big track that was 2014, didn't go until 2017, which was my track called Feel You Feel Me, which was my first track that got more than 1,000 plays on Spotify. I think it's about like 7,000 right now. But the funny thing, when I dropped it in 2017, I was a junior in college. That's when I first tried auto-tune in my voice. I made like a somewhat trap beat just because I started using 808s and shit. Shout out to my homie producer Z McD for like recording me at his home studio at the time. And like, that was like the first time I really pushed a song out. And everyone around me is like, yo, this shit's catchy. Like, they really fuck with it. I don't even know how it got to 7K streams. Like, honestly, I dropped it, little promotion. I don't know if it triggered the algorithm because everyone around me was listening to it.
Right.
But then I go to Spotify, shout out Spotify. They never gave me an answer. But the demographic said 30-year-old women. I'm like, nah, this has to be a mistake. This cannot be my demo. No, I'm if that's my actual demographic. Hey, I love to meet these 30-year-old women. I ain't judging. Like, anyone could like my music, but it just seemed weird. Like, I didn't think that would be my audience.
Right.
So I try to ask Spotify, like, yo, how did this get here? No response till this day. So I'm just like, which I'm still like, every stream I get, I wish I could contact them. Like, I want to talk to my fans, you know. I'm trying to build a long-term fan base. But whatever, it looked cool on paper. Oh, 7,000 streams, holy shit. I was tripping. I was like, this has to be a hack or something. Someone searched the wrong song. How am I getting this many streams with little promotion? But yeah, man, Feel You Feel Me. So X2C, then Feel You Feel Me. That was 2017, man. And then I would say the next big project was my last year, which was my senior year of college. I dropped 2 EPs. It was supposed to be one big album, but I needed to put out a senior project for my major. So I just made one, the project, and then the follow-up later that December, because I wasn't done, man. I tried to finish it. By the time I graduated, I couldn't do it. So I dropped 2 projects called, it was Pray for the Rich was the first one, and the second one was Serve the Poor. And together it's Serve the Poor, Pray for the Rich. So that's like conceptually like 2 EPs making one whole album, about I think 10 to 12 tracks in total. It's like 5 or 6 tracks each on the EP. And you know, it's that trap sound where like it's trap in the sense that I'm using 808s, but there's like this like soulful, like honest, like I had a term of a genre called heartwarming trap. Like a friend told me that, like, to call it that in college, and I stuck with that for a minute. I was influenced by the Travis Scotts, the Kanyes. I think he dropped like Life of Pablo around this time. And Birds and Life of Pablo is like my favorite albums of all time. And I'm like, I love how there's like Christian themes, but you know, like being a Christian, I'm not perfect. I sin all the time. So I was just being real. I went to several mission trips during that time in college, but I knew I had all these flaws in me. So like that was that. It was like me being real, kind of like how Kendrick is on Good Kid, Mad City, on Pimp a Butterfly, and on Damn. Like, you could tell he has this faith in God, and same as Tupac, but they're not here preaching like they're the perfect person. They're being real with it. Their real life experiences and shortcomings and revelations and fucking epiphanies, whatever you want to call it. So that was the tip I was on, like, you know, when I was making that music. I graduate, and like I didn't like majority of people in my major, music business. Yeah, what job are you gonna get with a music business degree? Good luck, bro. Like, you think you go to a label or a studio, they're gonna give a fuck if you got a music business degree? No, they're gonna be like, who do you know? Like, what have you done? Right? So shout out to my professor, Brian Malouf, mixing engineer. He brought on the guest, Colin McDowell, McDSP plugins. I was just showing love to the plugin company, to Colin, and he was like, come to NAMM, which is NAMM. I think it's National Association of Music Merchants. It's like a convention for a bunch of like audio plugin and instruments like companies in the Anaheim Convention Center, right next to Disneyland. They do it like yearly at the time. good networking opportunity. So I went there the following January, networked a little bit, and I got an offer for an internship for the fall, full time, paid, like that year that I graduated.
Okay.
And it was a recommendation also from my professor because he's buddies with, the founder. So, and I got the job, bro. Like before you know it, I'm in the Bay Area working a tech job for 6 months, man. I was offered to extend it after 2 months of working there. But I politely declined because I knew deep down I made the most money. It was a great team, great plugin company, met a lot of dope producers and engineers. I learned a lot from being in a small company, social media marketing, tech support, all that shit, right? Running an online store, all that.
Right.
I just wasn't happy, man, being in the office. And I knew I wanted to pursue, like, I want to create music. So I moved back to LA after 6 months. Pandemic hit. 2020, boom. I'm like, all my plans of networking with everyone in LA, no, you can't meet up. So I'm like, shit, here we go again. So I was like, damn, I'm just back to the online grind like I was on YouTube and Instagram, networking, right? Connecting the dots. 1 to 3 months later, I'm just hanging around on this YouTube company, this producer company on YouTube called Producer Grind. I don't know if you guys heard of him. My former boss, CEO Dylan, he's from Rochester, New York, actually. Then he went to Atlanta for a bit, and now he's in Florida. But they became big in Atlanta because they started on YouTube interviewing a bunch of big producers early on in Atlanta. They had the whole scene, and they would post these podcasts, and I remember I would watch them at work when I was at my DSP. Like before I would go to work, I would be at like a Starbucks watching some producer interview, like just figuring shit out, because I was still this producer mindset, right? Even though I was always rapping, I was placing more importance in production and engineering because that's what the skill I was building upon, right? So me hanging around in the live streams, right? They would do a ever since the pandemic. They're like, damn, we can't do podcasts in person. We're gonna interview people like this through Zoom. We're gonna live stream it on YouTube, open up the chat for Q&A. Bruh, I was there every morning, 5 days a week. They're Eastern time, 10 a.m. in Atlanta. I'm here in LA, waking up at 6 to get there on 7. I'm there every time. Good morning, early gang. What's good, chat? Like, they made me a moderator. And then I was like, yo, we never had an engineer on the show. I know this one engineer. His name is David Young and Kim, one of the best engineers I've ever got to meet. And I met him through McDSP because like I was just like searching around YouTube, and I found him on Pensado's Place, which is a legendary engineer, Dave Pensado. They interview engineers and producers. He was on there telling his crazy story of how he became Hit Boy's engineer. And like I was like, damn, I gotta hook this guy up with DSP plugins. Like, and we ended up doing that. I was in charge of connecting those talents with the plugin company so we could build that brand in hip hop, especially because it's such a good plugin, but it needed a lot more room to grow as far as hip hop engineers, producers, all that. So I was able to connect that, and then he was the first guest I brought on to Producer Grind. That was a legendary interview. It's still on YouTube. I brought on a couple more people. Before you know it, Dylan from Producer Grind was like, yo, Layno, like, how would you like to be the booking manager of the podcast? I was like, what's booking manager? Like, book shows? Like, I don't know how to do that. He's like, nah, what you're already doing, you're bringing guests to the podcast. I was like, oh, for sure, yeah. So I did a little internship for like a month, and then they gave me a paid position, and then started doing a little bit of management, social media. Before you know it, I got a job with them in 2020 during the pandemic, making money off of music. Like, and then I started collabing with their team. I would enter beat battles. Like, I would send the loops. I would collaborate with the producers. Shout out to all the producers and Team Producer Grind. 2021, I started doing sample packs, like sound design, like melody sample packs, drum kits, tutorials, YouTube content. It's still on there on YouTube. I did that all of 2021, and I was like, holy shit, I'm making money off of like being a producer, like multiple streams of income. This is great. And I thought that was it. Like, holy shit, like my life going to change. And it did. It like, pointed it not only like allowed me to move out to my own place, it not only allowed me to make all these connections, travel, all that, meet a bunch of producers, and really level up as a producer. It taught me a lot about how to run a small business. Again, it was a small company and all that. But by the end of last year, 2021, financially, my income started going down. Creatively, I wasn't able to like put out the certain creative stuff I wanted to put out. It just didn't align or was most beneficial for the company. So I just started doing less, less videos, less. And before you know it, like I was like, again, the artist in me, no matter how much money I'm making, coming from a lower middle income family where money's a big deal, I realized this burning desire to put myself out there creatively. I need to do it. I just can't like, like I just can't be in this box. Like I'm an artist deep down. Like, and 2021, I really like put out a lot as an artist. I did a single every month, as I said in 2020, January, February, all the way, and the EP, and there's music videos for all of those. I really rolled out, consistency. But at the end of the year, I really started learning more because, I moved out summer of 2021. Now I'm at my own place. Shout to my roommate. I met him through a mutual producer. We both do music. One of the producers we interviewed from Producer Grind. So during the time, Dylan from Producer Grind flew here for a week to interview producers out in LA. One of the producers we interviewed was FKI First. Good Job First. Dope producer, dope artist, engineer. He could do it all. Like, just look up his credits. He's done stuff with Post Malone, 2 Chainz, Travis Scott. Dope interview out here in LA. We did the podcast, really fire podcast. And that was like my first connect with him. And then me and my roommate end up moving like 5 minutes away from the studio. And I'm like, damn, it'd be cool to like pull up there sometime if we can.
Right.
Internship, looking for interns. We see that post on IG, summer of 2021. We both apply, me and my roommate, we both get it. And I'm like, holy shit. Our studio manager, who's a fire producer, artist, engineer, shout out to the homie Charlie. When I meet him and he gives me a little orientation in the studio, we find out we were in the same mixing class at USC. He sat behind me. He had longer hair, so I didn't know. He cut his hair. This whole time we were in the same class. I'm like, yo, this is a small world, man.
It really is, right?
This is wild. So
weird.
That's where I'm currently at right now. I'm interning at the studio, but I had to end my job with Producer Grind. I'm still cool with them, and I'm still cool with McDSP. Like, they all still support heavily. January of this year, worked a little bit of Amazon Fresh because I was like, I just had to take any job, man. Like, I had to make ends meet.
I know.
And then February, I'm just scrolling around LinkedIn randomly. Late January, I see a notification from my old boss at USC at the music, because I worked at the music school at USC the whole time. I forgot to mention that. I did live sound, studio sound, all that. They were like, yo, are you still around LA? We're looking for we need temp workers till May. Bet. I started doing that, stopped going to Amazon. I'd rather work on live sound than fucking bagging groceries. No offense, but like, you got to do whatever you got to do. But like, I'm just being real, man. Like, I can't knock no one's hustle, but if I was given a choice to like, I'm not saying music is easy. Like, bro, like live sound, that shit's tough. But like, I've always done jobs where I'm on my feet. I can't like, I mean, I was on my feet in Amazon too, but it was like, the same shit, same thing. But I learned a lot, I learned a lot there. But like, now I'm kind of like, damn, what am I gonna do after May? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at right now. At the same time, I'm diving deep as an artist. And last fall of 2021, at the studio, I started working with the artist Billy Rax. I don't know if you've heard of him. Billy RACXX.
Yep.
Started producing for him. I found out about him through Producer Grind. Him and shout out to my former boss, CEO Dylan. Like, Billy and Dylan, like, they go way back, So I met him through like, he did like an acapella challenge for all the producers in Producer Grind. I didn't win, but like, he came to LA for a little bit to do like a behind the beat with one of the winners. And like, I met him through there, and like, it was cool. And then I find out he moves to LA 5 minutes away from where I'm living.
Oh, shit.
And then he's at the studio where I'm interning at ever since last summer. But it's not until September, I remember as clear as day. I don't really wake up that early with this music life, but for some reason, 8:30 a.m., I get a phone call, Billy Rax. I'm like, oh shit. I remember I almost snoozed that shit, but like, fuck, yo, what's good, Billy? Yo, man, my engineer's not gonna be here for like a week or two. Like, I was wondering if you could record me at the studio. Say less. And everything I learned from producer grind, right? Like, yo, you're a producer, you gotta be in the studio. You gotta learn how to engineer. This is how placements happen. Like, you gotta learn how to record. Like,
Right.
you gotta be in the studio. You gotta be in the studio. I'm in the studio. I record him on a couple tracks. I had to shoot my shot. I pitched him some of my beats.
Hey.
Played him hella beats. He's like, yo, pull that one up. I'm like, oh shit. He started record. He did like a recording over it. I'm like, oh shit. September, October, November, recorded more. Some for other people, some for my beats.
Right.
We start forming the sound. Me and my roommate start working with him more on projects. In December, I play him this beat that I made with my homie David S. Park, and like we collabed all the time. And like this is the third time I played the beat for Billy, because I knew he liked it, but he didn't use it, so I didn't throw it away. Like I kept it in the folder.
Just save, right? Yep.
That persistence. I played that beat. He's like, all right, pull it up. I was like, oh shit. Little do I know, he drops the song next week because he's like very involved in Web3 shit, NFTs, all that. And I've been learning about NFTs and Web3 a little bit with my time at Producer Grind. My former boss at Producer Grind, Dylan, was heavy into crypto NFTs. We brought on Illmind to speak about that. Illmind would speak a lot about that, NFTs and all that. And I was like, damn, Billy is really deep in this Web3 NFT shit. Like, oh shit, he's putting out music for them in an NFT. I did that song, Sweep the Floor, on his project called, damn, what was it called? I'm blanking out. It's Funk EP, because he was part of the Crypto Funks. Funk with a PH, not Crypto Punks with a P, but Crypto Funks with a PH. I have the song called Sweep the Floor. It was my first placement, man. And I was like super happy because like there's no artist I ever worked with like Billy Rax, man. And this guy is about to be bigger than life. And it's always a pleasure working with him, man. He's like killing it right now. I think he's at South by Southwest right now. And he's doing big things, man. Like he's really innovating, like on some other shit. He always said influence over clout. Like that's the motto he lives by. And being around him, I mentioned this whole story about working with Billy Rax because this pushes me more to be an artist, especially late of last year. In October, I'm like, it's about to be Halloween and shit. And like, I've been going to Vegas. Like I went to Vegas 5 times last year to not to gamble.
Yo, so you would.
My former coworker from Producer Grind, shout out to the homie Meek, Meek. He's a producer and engineer out in Vegas. He got his own studio. When I'm there, I make music, man. And bro, it's a blast. I love making music with Meek in Vegas. Like at his studio at a hotel. We just set it up on some hotel vibes. And like, man, it was probably the 4th time I was going to Vegas that October for Halloween and shit. I was like, man, what am I gonna be for Halloween? Oh, okay, maybe I should be an artist, like a painter artist. So I'm at the Halloween store. This is not the beret, but I find a similar beret at a Halloween store. And I'm like, all right, this is the outfit. Like, I'm a fucking artist. Like, I'm a girl with the beard and shit. Like it's like a French look, bro. Like fucking Pierre and shit.
Yeah.
I used to do graffiti. I used to paint and shit, and I didn't have an easel and all that. I didn't go that extra with it, but like, like, what are you? Oh, I'm an artist, you know. I got the beret and shit. Like, and then I see how Billy Rax is, you know, he's deep into fashion and like, cause his girl's a fashion designer, and like, he's an artist. He's a hyper creative. He's an artist in his music, in his visuals, in the videos he put out, what he wears, how he walks, his vision. And I'm like, that's an artist, like confident in everything they present and express. And I'm like, I love being a producer. Don't get me wrong. I love producing as much as being an artist. But I've spent all these years working on beats, mixes, production, but I'm not grinding how producers grind. They produce for other artists, try to get placements. I wasn't on that tip. Every beat I made, I'm like, I want to use this shit. I want to hop on the mic. I want to sing on it. Like, with the exception of Billy Rax, who's like the only artist besides my immediate circle that I'm producing for, I'm not really sending beats like that to a bunch of people and creating a sound. I'm trying to do my own shit, put myself as an artist. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go all in. You know, a big tip that Dylan from Producer Grind told me was like, you gotta focus. You gotta focus on two things, and you gotta really dive deep. I told him I want to be an artist, and I gotta focus on that. So all of this year, that's all I'm doing. And
Yeah.
I just put out the album. And before I talk about the album, is there anything from now until this point that you have any questions? Because this really, like, I've said this story many times, but this is you guys are the first interview. Like, when I blow up, I got a shout out to Jakir from Space Outland. You guys actually gave me a shot. You know, we're here building. Like, the amount of people I hit up for an interview and they either left me on red or didn't respond. I'm like, I just saw the Genius Netflix documentary with Kanye. That level of persistence, man. And people believed in his vision because he had to believe in it himself. I'm no Kanye, but I'm just saying that inspiration is like something to take out of, that persistence, that confidence in your own art, that desire to not take no for an answer. Like, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna put myself out there. And thank you, Jakir Space Outland, for like giving me a shot, you know, like to tell my story, because I don't know who's gonna see this. I don't know who's gonna see this. If I could inspire one kid to be like, yo, Layno, he didn't have the talent to begin with. He wasn't born with this shit. He didn't have a lot. He wasn't dealt the best cards in life. He comes from a lower middle income family. He had no connections in the industry. He dig deep research online. He wasn't good at his practice. He kept practicing. He surrounded himself with better people. He tried different jobs. He made the money. He thought the money was the answer. He had the passion. He was like, fuck it. He's gonna be broke for a little while, hopefully no longer. But he's gonna connect the dots. He's gonna grind it out because this is what he wants to do in life. He's gonna pursue it. Now, if God tells me this ain't it, bro, I'll change careers. But God's always put something in my path where it's like, nah, music, you might not think it's going this way, but it's like, it's that way. I'm gonna take you here. Little do you know, there's a path that goes all the way there where you want to go. That's what I tell people. I don't know the exact road, but I know I'm gonna get over there because God's been throwing these like curveballs at me. It's like, oh shit, okay, music is my purpose, hopefully, like, and I hope to inspire people like that. So any questions up to this point, Jakir? Yeah.
Speaking the truth. But hold up. Yeah. We're gonna save the album for the last question. That's the one.
Yeah.
We're gonna save it for what we expect next. But oh no, we got a fun list for you today, buddy.
Oh shit. I wonder if I tackled those through my long ass story.
If so, I'll cut it up. Okay.
Yo, how long was that, by the way?
I don't even
Shit.
I don't even know. Shit. I'll cut it up.
I think it was like a good 30-40 minutes. So my process to make a song, right?
Yep.
Okay, so right now, even though I'm a producer, I'm open to like getting other people's beats, right? I know a lot of dope producers through Producer Grind, through my immediate circle here in LA. I've been producing all my life too. So usually if I don't hear if I hear a fire beat, I'm gonna like keep that in a sort of folder. I'll ask the producer to send it, like, yo, I'm down to make a song of this. If not, either I'm making the beat and maybe I'll start with a melody and I'll be like, yo, I'll send this. I learned that collaboration is key. Like, I made some of my best music through collaboration. Yeah, I had a few where I did it all myself because that's what I learned how to do, that DIY aspect. You got to learn everything because I couldn't afford producers and engineers at the time. So I had to learn how to do all this shit. So like now I realize collaboration is key because they might hear something I don't hear and their talents that are better than me can add to what I'm doing rather than me trying to figure it all out. So either I start the melody and they like finish the drums or add to the melody, or they send me melody loops and all I got to do is add drums, you know, or rearrange it or chop it up a certain way, kind of like how I sampled back in the day, you know, with records or like samples off YouTube or whatnot. So it's either one of those. Either I have a fire beat from a producer. I don't get beats from YouTube. Like, I know that world, like I respect it. I've grinded like that for the longest time, like how to sell beats online. Shout out Curtis King, one of my biggest inspirations, like early on when I was on YouTube learning how to monetize being a producer. Curtis King, before Producer Grind, Curtis King was one of the big like YouTube people on YouTube that really showed how to do it independently as an artist and a producer. So shout out to him. But that world is like, it's a grind, man. Like the consistency, the amount of beats you upload. And I had hella beats and I made a couple sales here and there, but it just wasn't fulfilling for me enough. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fire beats on YouTube, but me, I'm all about building relationships. So and the artist in me likes the exclusive factor.
I don't like that free for.
So if there's a beat that I know everyone else is gonna use, like, not saying that it's wrong, because shit, if I make the best song out of everyone else, who cares, right? You know, like if Drake used the beat on YouTube, you're not gonna do a better song. 99 times out of 100, you're not gonna make a better song than Drake. Like that's fucking Drake. Like,
You definitely not. You know,
unless you're Kanye. Okay.
tie it up.
Nah, I'm playing. No, but like, but yo, on that note, Donda's better than CLB. Yeah, I said it.
Ooh.
CLB is fire. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest Drake fan. I am a bigger Kanye fan. Maybe I'm biased, but hey, longer term listening play. Don't get me wrong. CLB's fire, bro. Shout out Drake, 40, all the producers. It's a really good sounding project, but substance wise, Donda just hits here, bro. Donda just hits. But anyways, answer the question. My bad. I got off topic. Like beats online, I'm not saying you can't build a relationship with producers that you find the beat online. I mean, a good amount of producers I still work with till this day, I've never met them in person. When I was at Producer Grind, they would send me loops, they would send me beats. I want to shout them out right now. Specifically, 3 producers, man. And these are all these young producers from all over the world. Shout out to Unwanted Chip, this kid from UK, from London. He's a fire producer, would always send me melodies. I always made beats. But we did a song called Counting. So there's a song on Spotify called Counting. Beautiful video, man. We shot the video in Atlanta. I really love that song. It's just about counting your blessings. And then number 2, this kid named Millsy. Shout out to Millsy. He's from Rochester, New York, I believe. He's on the album, actually. He did 2 joints on there. He did the first 2 joints, Baked and Same Mold. He did the melodies on those. Shout out to Millsy. Third, shout out to Zishan. Zishan's this producer from Canada. I forgot what part. Shit. I forgot what part, but it's like, I forgot. But it's not Toronto, it's not Vancouver, it's in the middle. I think it's Calgary or Alberta, one of those. But he's a fire producer, does more of that R&B, soulful shit. But he sends me hella melodies too. And then my homie David S. Park, who I knew from college, plays classical piano, but learned how to make beats like in 3 months and was better than a lot of these other producers, learned really fast. Started making beats with him a lot. Those 4 guys that learned really quick, man. Like, but those 3 I've never met in person. They were all online. So they send me melodies or beats and I get the beats from them or my immediate circle, right? Mm-hmm. That's the beginning of the process. The beat. I always got to start with the beat. I have notes where I jot down lyrics, I jot down ideas, concepts, and my recording process. Before, I would write on a literal, those composition notebooks on some old school shit, bro. Like,
I got one right now.
Yeah, little Brillo pad, like on some old school shit. I rarely do that now. Mm-hmm. It helped though when I was like doing the whole Serve the Poor, Pray for the Rich album in college. Something about writing down, there's just more soul in it, But I've now figured out a way to keep that soul and substance through the phone. Because before, a phone just felt like, I could easily delete it, backspace, you don't see the cross off, but now I've done it enough where like, it doesn't matter what I use, a phone, a notepad, I could get the feeling and message across. So I used to just write it. Now I'm on the phone and I used to just write all the lyrics first. Mm-hmm. But, throughout this time, go back to 2010, 2011, I would freestyle in high school. You know, I was like rapping in the ciphers. I was ass though, bro. I embarrassed myself. I remember one time in class, I asked to rap for some reason. I don't know why. It was math class, by the way. I'll never forget. I think it was algebra. And I said this line. It was so cringe. I was like, yo, I'm clean. I ain't dirty. Like the dumb, like the redundant, the most redundant shit ever. That's like saying, I'm up. I'm not down. I said, I think I said something with flirty or nerdy, and then I was like, and I'm clean. I'm not dirty. And like, I remember my homie, my close homie, he's not close with me no more, but he fucking laughed at my face. He was like, bro, you did not just say that. And I was like, oh man. But you know, my artist spirit didn't give a fuck. Actually, I did care. I was kind of embarrassed that day, but I just had to let it out. I had to do it, man.
Right.
We all had our time, but I would freestyle, right? I learned how to freestyle. I mean, learning hip hop culture online, you try you, bruh. Imagine I'm on Sway in the morning, right? And I can't freestyle. Oh, that's gonna be the end of my rap career. Even though I'm using hella auto-tune and I'm more of an artist per se, like how Travis says he's an artist. Like he doesn't just rap, he makes songs, right? He could sing.
Right.
Like when I make lyrics, I used to think bars, 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 bars. And that's cool. I have nothing but respect who people that could spit. But as a producer, sonically, being around people that aren't hip hop purists, not everyone, a majority of people aren't listening to bars to begin with. They're gonna hear the beat first. They're gonna hear your voice next. They're gonna see how you're flowing, the melodies you're doing, the voice, the delivery. So once I learned that, I'm like, okay, when I freestyle, what can I take from freestyle? Okay, it might not make sense. It might not sound cool, but the feeling behind it is very honest because it's gut instinct. It's no filter. You don't hold back. That's what I learned from freestyling, which really helped me when I would record. Because now I might write ideas, I might write whole lines. It might be incomplete. And the way Travis records, what I learned is he sings into the auto tune. So I have the auto tune playing on the way I set it up on Pro Tools. So I forgot to say, I produce on FL Studio. I collab with people that use Logic, Ableton, all these other DAWs. FL Studio mainly to produce. I bounce the beat out to Pro Tools. And, you know, I learned a lot from college, you know, minoring in audio recording, working at a studio, learning tech plugin company. Like I know how to use Pro Tools, you know, like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I have my template set up, and interning at a studio I'm at right now got me faster, like just faster, and how to just set it up almost on autopilot where I could just record on the mic and everything's already ready to go. It almost sounds finished.
Right.
So I have it set up. I have the beat. I'm singing into the auto tune, like how Travis Scott does it, you know, like when I go, it hits the auto tune in a certain way, and I'm hearing that in real time. So I'm able to find the melodies. So you know how like mumble rappers how it's that like Atlanta trap style where you punch in, punch out. Like that's just a majority of what hip hop trap people that use auto-tune, that's the majority of what they're doing. They're vibing out, they're hitting the beat, they're hearing the melody. They're like, okay, now I'm gonna add lyrics to it.
Right.
Or they're freestyling like on some Lil Wayne shit, phrase by phrase by phrase by phrase. You know what I mean? And I would do some songs, I literally do that, nothing written. Some songs, all written, but the way I'm delivering it, the melodies I'm choosing, I'm figuring it out as I'm hearing it.
Right.
Third way of doing it, it's a mix. So that's how I do it now. Like usually I'm very beat oriented. Like the production is gonna inspire me how I'm gonna, because I think sonically, how's it gonna sound first? Right. I'm all about catchiness. I'm all about feeling. Like I love making music with feeling. I have this little reminder I taped on my laptop. It says write and produce with feeling.
Yeah.
Because as much technical stuff I learned, the common person doesn't give a fuck. Right. You don't go to a concert, you'd be like, yo, I love the way they use that compressor. Yo, I love the way they EQ'd 2K out of that vocal. Bruh, is it a good song or not? Like, does the beat hit or not? So write and produce with feeling, you know? That's my whole thing. I go off feeling. I go off sonically. How does it sound? Because I grew up to 80s music, you know, my fam on the radio, they would always put all those 80s music. As much as criticism 80s music get, we still play it till this day, man.
Right.
We still play it till this day. Like all these, one of my big inspirations is Phil Collins, man. Legendary songwriter, artist, producer, drummer. Like he did it all. At one point, I made a song called Filipino Phil Collins. Because that's what it is. Like, bruh, he owned the 80s, man. From fucking Tarzan, everyone that grew up around this time, you'll be in my heart. From the legendary In the Air Tonight on Grand Theft Auto. I can feel it. Like, come on, man. Like, who doesn't know that song? 40 years later, prayers up to Phil Collins. He's going through a lot of like health problems right now. He's really old, but his legacy is gonna live on forever, man. His legacy is gonna live on forever. So I prioritize catchiness, man. Even when I performed in open mic nights, I would get the crowd to say what I'm saying. If you can't recite my lyrics in the crowd, I didn't write a good song.
Right.
Now that I've done a lot of catchiness and there's a lot of room for me to grow, okay, hopefully I make sense now. Hopefully I have more substance. Hopefully I storytell and have better word choice where it paints the picture, where it's more poetic. Like the way Kendrick song writes, you know, what he does, right? I saw it from the Rick Rubin interview. He goes through life, right? That's probably why we haven't got the album yet. He probably got a lot to say in this. Everyone's waiting on Kendrick's album, bro. But it's like he said in that Rick Rubin interview, he's writing down in his journal all of these feelings, right? Because music is emotion, music's feelings. And when he writes down those details of how he felt, when he reads back, it brings him back to that feeling. He's able to express it through certain words. I don't do that too much, but sometimes I do. And that storytelling aspect, that honesty, that substance, that speaking your truth, your experiences, perspective changes, like all these different things, what makes music long term and not just a fun hype song, which can be long term too. But I'm not saying every artist should have that purpose to like have this grand like purpose to like, nah, man. Like, as much as people want to criticize Travis Scott, he inspired a lot of people through whatever his music has done. Right. You know what I mean? Sonically, like, you know, as like I can't deny that fact. You know, as much criticism, as much shortcomings and unfortunate tragedies has happened due to whatever circumstance his music had led to, like, right, deep down, you know, like he inspired a lot of youth, including me, you know what I mean? So like same with Kanye, right? So I really look up to those people, and like they have a good mix of like songs that are just hype that you're always gonna bump forever, that make you feel positive, and like another one is like just deeper songs, like shit you're going through. So, and I'm trying to evolve every project, you know, like Kanye, he always evolves every project, no matter what people want to say. People criticize Life of Pablo heavy when it came out in college. It's one of my favorites now. Graduation was my old favorite, but Life of Pablo really grew on me, and I was like, holy shit. And I think 808s and Heartbreak is really growing on people now that they look at it. When it came out with the auto tune, everyone was like, yo, ew, what is this shit? Now it influenced all your favorite artists till this day. Like it's influenced by 808s and Heartbreak. So
that's why he's a goat.
Yeah. So that's my process. And then once I record, I'll mix it a little bit. I don't overdo the mix. I used to overdo the mix. Now I have my template. I reference mix. Here's a cheat code for all the engineers. If you don't know all this plugin sauce, reference mix, meaning get a song that's a proven hit, top 40, whatever, from your favorite artist. Literally A/B your track with theirs. Get your drums to sound as good as theirs, the bass, the kick, the snare, the hi-hats, the melodies. Get your vocals to sound as good as theirs, at least volume-wise. And just try to use your ears to match it in however way you do it, because there's no right answer in engineering. There's many ways to skin a cat. That's what engineering is. So however you get it to sound like that, I'm not the engineer that's like, oh, you got to do it this way. Like, fuck that, man. Those engineers piss me off. Like, bruh, no one cares. Like, no one asks how you did it. They just care how it sounds at the end. So there's no reason to criticize other engineers for doing it a certain way. Like, no one cares. Like, how does a song sound at the end? However you get it, reference mix, get it in the ballpark. And before you know it, you already made it sound better than you thought, just because you got it ballpark of what you were trying to get it sound like.
Right.
So, and if you don't know people that could do that, it's either you spend time to learn it or you spend money to have someone else do it for you. It's either time or money, man. For me, a lot of it was time. I didn't have the money, so that's why I do a lot of shit myself. So I tend to mix my own shit unless it's someone I know that mixes it because they were on the project. I don't have an outside engineer where they weren't involved in the production or writing. A lot of artists and producers I work with, they also can engineer. So we tend to go back and forth. Sometimes I get shit mastered. Shout out to Mike Bozzi, Kendrick Lamar's engineer. Like he's done a lot of legendary stuff. I started working with him a little bit. He's done 2 of my songs. Get Up, which is my most streamed song on Spotify. It's almost at 20K views or streams. And then he did Filipino Phil Collins. Both of those joints I released 2020 of my birthday on September 13th and 2021 September 13th. So for my birthday, I had to get it mastered by a professional. He just made it sound golden and like it's getting the streams too. So it's cool. But you know, I'm all about building that relationship, letting people that are better than me do what they do. So collaboration is key. But that's my process. And it sounds like a long process, but man, this album that I did, Van Gogh in the Matrix, those 10 songs were done over the course of December, January, February, 3 months, which is super fast because, you know, 10 songs in 3 months versus a song every year, which is 12 songs in 12 months. So you do the math, 10 songs in 3 months, 3 times 4 is 12. Hey, yeah, I'm still Asian. I can do the math. 10 times 4, I could do 40 songs at that rate versus 12 songs. It's just practice, you know, you get better, you get faster, you're able to pump out more. I look up to people like Larry June, you know, like he's another artist where from his story, his entrepreneurship, his brand, his ad libs, his image, his colors, his sound, the producers and beats he chooses, and he could pump out a bunch of stuff. That's the process that I do now. I saw from a Larry June interview, like he gets a bunch of beats because he has all these dope producers, puts them in folders, right? Puts them in a bunch of folders. He listens to the beats, writes to it, records, goes outside of San Francisco, goes on his bike, cruises on all his dope cars, gets juice, jogs, does whatever he does, his lifestyle shit.
Right.
Listens to the song he recorded, goes back, rinse and repeat. Before you know it, he has all these songs ready.
Damn.
So like that's kind of how I'm doing the next projects. I just have a bunch of beats in different folders, taking it day by day, listening to it, recording, like, and I'm getting faster at it. So that's how I'm able to do a lot.
How do you move? Well, it says, how would you move Mount Fiji if you could?
Mount Fuji?
Yep. Or Fiji? What? Fiji or Fuji?
The one in Japan, right?
Yep.
That's crazy. Was that meant to be? Because I have 2 songs on the project called Japan and Japan Part 2.
That's it.
And I reference Mount Fuji. I say on Japan, climbing on top because my money, Mount Fuji. She my little angel, her face Lucy Lou. And then I say on Japan Part 2, I say dripping like Fiji, painting like Murakami. I can see Mount Fuji view in my new apartments. I think that's what I say. But anyways, my bad. I just had to do a shameless plug there. How can I move Mount Fuji if I could?
Mm-hmm.
Easy answer, bro. Trust God,
Hey.
for He can move mountains. Nah, I'm not even joking, bro. I'm proud to be Christian, man. There's a lot of, you know, bad stuff about us. I ain't even gonna cap, man. I ain't here like a Pharisee or a high priest acting like I'm better than everyone else. Nah, man. Ye who has not sinned, cast a stone. Like I'm not gonna judge people acting like I don't have no sins myself.
Right.
But I know throughout the whole story I told you, I really didn't think I would get to this point, man. I just had to trust God, and He somehow made a way. Like, how can I move a mountain, man? Like, okay, maybe Elon Musk like invents some shit. Like, by then, I don't know. But you know, I trust in God, man. That's how I can move mountains, bro. That's how I can move mountains. The impossible is possible through God, man. That's what I believe. Not saying people should believe that, but that's what I believe, man. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, man.
All right. Number 4.
I like that question.
Right up the jar. Number 4 for you. Oh wait, no, you answered that one. So number 5. Do you smoke? by chance?
Oh, bro, come on. I'm in LA, bro. It's a green state, bro. Where am I? Yo, oh my God. I'm not gonna do it on this interview because I'm low-key out of weed, but yo, like, let me tell you something real quick. Wait, what's the question? Do you smoke?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you why. Now, surprisingly, I didn't smoke till 21. I'm
Mhm.
responsible. See? Not saying people that didn't are irresponsible, but just saying, like, I'm a late bloomer in a lot of sense, but also like, you know, I was raised very strict by my parents, and that could go one of two ways. That could be like a majority of kids that were freshmen in USC. Oh, fucking finally out of the house. I'm gonna go fucking wild. I'm gonna do everything I can. I was too scared, bro. I'm like, I don't know, man. Funny enough, all of my roommates, shout out to my roommates, Jet, you know who you are, freshman year, and my roommate, Johnny, who was my friend from high school. We were roommates from sophomore year to senior year in college. They all smoked. So I couldn't escape the secondhand, bro. It was like always in the air in the dorms, right? So I'm right here experiencing secondhand, and like all my life, like, you know, my dad used to smoke cigarettes and shit, and like I was scared straight. Like, you know, my dad had heart surgery, he had to quit and all that. It was bad for his health. um I had my uncle, he's in Philippines right now, but you know, he went to prison, and you know, he had to get like all this like bad things that happened in his life because he was around the wrong crowd, and it was like a gateway drug, right? But I have nothing against weed, because even though it, like, honestly, like the more I learned about weed and the more I was around weed smokers, like they brought me better vibes than even drinkers, if I were to be honest.
Oh yeah.
um
Oh yeah.
and it's hard to like separate it from music. It's just embedded in the culture. And also I'm in LA, like it's legal, like smoke weed every day. Come on, bro. Chronic, Dr. Dre, Nate Dogg, like, come on, bro. Like, bro, and it's like getting better too. Like, I came at a good time. Like, whenever you're out here, we gotta smoke you out, bro. But anyways, like, I didn't start till 21, and like, I had a joint and I had a backwood, and I was like, yo, this shit fire. Like, holy shit. I remember when I smoked that shit. This was my experience, man. This was my experience. There was like a meta version of me that like went away from my physical body, that was right here, that was looking down in my physical body. And all I could think was, I know I have shit to worry about, but I physically cannot worry right now at this moment. I am high. Like, and I was like, this is nice. You know why? It puts me in the moment.
Right. Oh yeah.
And I would casually smoke a little bit more here and there, you know, and then I meet my roommate who also smokes. Shout out John. And like, we have our own place. we're at the studio. We're always smoking. Like, bro, it's everywhere now. I finally get my own weed. Like, for the first time, I get my own. I still can't roll. I tried, bro. I rolled my first backwood. It was miserable, bro. The filter was ass. That shit was limpy. Like, oh my God, bro. It was trash. So I get other people to do it, or I use cones.
Right.
But I love flower, man. Like, I tried bongs. I tried, you know, pipes, all that. I haven't tried edibles. I'm kind of scared, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I prefer flower, like J's and blunts and backwoods. Like, I like smoking that shit. Like, that's my shit. Slow and easy, and you know, it's cool. Like, you know, like with music, with food and all that. But because I started late, I'm not like addicted to it at all. Like, I could do music with or without, but I do like how it puts me in the moment. You know, again, based off the theme of me making my music off of feeling, I tend to make things more off of feeling when I'm, you know, high. So
Yeah.
everything in moderation, to each his own. Everyone got their own thing, their own process, but I have done it enough where I can now operate kind of. When I'm working with other people, I don't smoke at all. But for my own shit, where I could go my own pace, I could produce high, I could write high, I could record high, I could mix high. My last album, not my current one, but my last EP, Thank You God. I produced, recorded, and mixed that shit high. It sounds good too. It sounds good. I found the process, like, I have practiced it enough. My tolerance has grew enough, but man, I know my limit, man. I'm more of a sativa guy. I like hybrids, but I like sativa. Indica, like indica in the couch, like I'm just too clapped. I can't operate. Like I need that focus. But like hybrids are cool, man. But yeah, man, I love flower, man. Like, and you know, it's not the best health thing. You're still smoking something. It's still doing some shit to your lungs, but you know, I find the balance. I think life is about balance. I think everything's about moderation. Um, I'll tell you this, it's definitely a better option than drinking though.
Hell yeah.
Drinking can, you know, I've made some dope shit, a little bit tipsy, but like, you know, um, I like weed, bro. Like weed's and people that I'm around that smoke weed, like besides it making you lazy and unproductive, if it can make you creative, like, hey man, like, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I love psychedelics too, and like, you know, I tried acid for the first time like last year. I went with my homies to Joshua Tree. You know where that is? It's like this desert out in LA. The closest desert to LA, 3-hour drive from LA. Bro, we rented this Airbnb on some Kanye like Wyoming shit. Made 15 beats in 2 days. We all did acid and like, bro, it was great, man. I had a good trip. I was kind of scared, but I was around good people and we made 15 beats in 2 days. We put out a project. We chose 9 of those. I can't lie. Some of those beats were ass. So we only chose 9. We didn't give a fuck though, bro. Like, bro, acid was a hell. It's a nice, like, bro, it was a beautiful trip, man. Like, during the day. So get this, right? I don't really cook, but the only thing I know how to cook, shout out to my Filipinos, I make the best pork adobo, chicken adobo. I prefer pork, but adobo, I make the best adobo, man. Shout out to my dad that cooks. He gave me the recipe. I sauced it up, made it to my liking. That's the only thing I know how to cook. I don't know if you ever had it, but it's like, bruh, it's like a stew, like any. I don't know if you eat meat, but it's any choice of meat, like, you know, it's the key ingredients is soy sauce, vinegar, garlic. Like that's the 3 ingredients. Black pepper, sugar, like that's it. And then chicken or pork, whatever you want to do, and eat it over white rice. Like that's it. Okay. I make the best of that. We had to cook that in Joshua Tree amongst other foods we made. And then right after we took the acid and like, bro, we go outside, bright as day, looking at a mountain, just chilling in the little balcony. And bro, Michael Jackson started playing on the shuffle, and like, bro, the telephone pole started like dancing and shit. Like, I was like, holy shit, don't stop till you get enough. I was like, yo, this is, bro, it was beautiful, man. I'm like, everyone's vibing right now. Holy shit. And we went back and started making more beats, bro. We started acting like a fool, but for some reason, I don't know if we just practiced enough, we were able to get the beats actually done. You know, we did 15 in 2 days. We would look at the stars at night. Shit was moving. Perspective, man. Ego deaths the fullest. We were very in the moment. It was a great time, and we put out a project. Check it out. It's called Never Lost. Shout out to John, my roommate, Russell Groovy, my cousin, and our other homie, Andrew, aka Typo Blue. Like us 4 made 9 beats, put it out. It's called Never Lost. And man, the cover art's like a film photo I took of the view we had, the mountains. It takes me back, man. It's like some cool beats ranging from like some Kanye inspired stuff to like some like lo-fi stuff to more like alternative hip hop stuff to like a little bit of trap influence to fucking upbeat shit. I don't know. It's just I don't know what to call it, man. It's just dope instrumentals to like listen to. Never lost, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What question did I answer? What was the question? Oh, weed. I always go on tangents when you ask me shit. My bad, man. Feel free to cut me off anytime, bro.
Oh, you good. About to say, tell your story. It's all
yeah, bro. Acid's I would love to do it again, man. Who the plug? I won't snitch. Don't worry.
Yeah, I won't either. I'm cool.
It ended up in my hands for some reason. Now I'm making beats. Like
it fell out the air. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 6. Back to the job. Number 2. I'm gonna go deep.
Yo, real quick. You ever seen Interstellar? That's like my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm tripping right now. I'm not even high, but like, you know, when he's telling Murph on the little book library thing, the little light striations that are showing right now to go into the Tesseract or the 5th dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm literally in the Matrix, bro. Like, look, like, there's a thunder right here.
He's like,
Screenshot that. That's the thumbnail. Bango in the Matrix.
oh yeah, I got you.
Bango in the fifth dimension right here, dude. I'm tripping.
I
Oh,
wish
man, I'm
we
playing.
had that shit. We 740 right now on our side.
All right, next question.
Are you adventurous?
Yes, I put that in my Tinder bio.
Hell yeah.
Hey, ladies, I'm adventurous. However you want to take that, man. You know, I wouldn't say I've been around the world, but I'm going around the world. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
I've been you know, I've been to Philippines, Malaysia, Korea, Japan.
Mhm.
So Asia mostly. As far as the US, I have like this world map that I put in my room. I put little pins just to like for inspiration, like, oh cool, I've been there. So that was Asia. As far as the States, I've been to Mexico. That was for like a cruise. So we were in Ensenada for a little bit. So yeah, that kind of counts as Mexico, I guess. Been to obviously California. So LA, San Diego, Joshua Tree, Bakersfield, San Francisco, Sacramento, and then like up the coast, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, like pretty much most parts of California. Vegas, so Nevada, Vegas, Utah, like Zion. I did a hike out there, and then Atlanta was the first time I was in the South, and anywhere outside of the West Coast. Um, last year, yeah, I went there to make some music and shoot some videos and whatnot, and that was a dope experience. But I've never been to the East Coast, never been too far up north, never been to Europe, never been to South America, Africa. Yeah, man, Australia. But man, I have so many plans. I'm making all these connects from the online music community to go around the world, and like even in the NFT Web3 community, making connections with all these people. Next place I really want to go is Germany, man, to Europe, making some connects out there. I love the music, I love the people, the women are beautiful. Nearby Amsterdam, you can smoke weed there. So, and I heard the standard of living there is really, really, really good. So would love to visit there sometime, and also like maybe like Toronto, Canada, like made some connects out there. I love the vibes out there too. Never been, but the people there are great, and I only hear nothing but good stuff there. So, but man, I always want to go back to Asia all the time. Asia. In terms of Africa, I want to go to South Africa. Met a couple producers online through there. I like a lot of things about it. South America, I want to go to Argentina for sure, for the food, for the people, for the scenery. Kind of like LA, you could go to the forest, you could go to the beach, you could go to snow or whatever, all in one place. And you say, am I adventurous? Like, yeah, I love travel. Me being in this bubble of the San Fernando Valley, 818, LA County, right? All my life I moved, but it was always within this circle, lower middle income family. We didn't have money to travel like that. Any opportunity I can to go outside of where I'm from, I love where I'm from, but when you travel, your perspective just gets better. I think it gets more open. You meet people, you learn a lot. And I love experiences more than physical material items. Experiences rarely go away until I lose my memory till I'm old. So I really value travel. And as far as adventurous, I still don't drive. I have a permit. I know you're like, you're in LA, you don't drive. I know, guys, but you know, once I can afford a whip, like I'll get it. I have a permit, so my friends joke all the time, like, bro, I don't care if you got a permit, you are not driving my car. I practiced. Shout out to my brother for like being my low-key instructor. We would practice in parking lots, then small neighborhoods. I haven't practiced in the main street in LA. Hell no, man. I ain't ready yet. I ain't ready yet. But because I don't drive, I've always been into geography. Like in high school, I got a 5 on AP Human Geography, bro. Like that doesn't mean shit, but I'm just saying, like, I love learning about how cities and landscapes are laid out. I love maps. I love experiencing. Like when I went to Japan and Korea, I really studied like the location, the subway system, all that. Like I really like knowing where I'm at. And then I got into hiking. I took this hiking class in college. You're like, what the fuck, hiking class? Why the fuck you pay thousands of dollars? I really enjoyed it. It was a little break away from all the studying and whatnot.
Right.
But it was hiking and backpacking, and that's the first time I ever like backpacked. Oh my god, one of the hardest physical things I've ever done in my life, but very naturally rewarding going out there in the Los Angeles forest. Yes, we actually have a forest, not no not no cheap hike like the Hollywood Canyon run. Like, nah. Like an actual hike where you need to physically prepare for the shit and be with a team, or else you're gonna be stuck there like fighting off a bear. No, I'm kidding. But like the forest, man, I love like hiking, man. Like it's very therapeutic physically. It's very beneficial. You get fresh air, fresh lights. I mean, fresh sunlight. Like it's rare for trees to be in LA, bro. Like it's rare, you know. So it's really nice to go outdoors, and I really value outdoors. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to get this Cliff Bar sponsorship. I eat a Cliff Bar every week, no cap, bro. Like every morning, I eat a Cool Mint chocolate chip Cliff Bar as my breakfast with coffee. That's my shit. And I've reached out to them. I did a whole music video hiking and Cliff Bar. It's called Lifestyle. It's on YouTube. They haven't responded to me. So Cliff Bar, if you see this video, like, come on, man. I'm trying to get sponsorship with you guys. Now what I do have a sponsorship with in the works. It's not a full-on sponsorship, but shout out Guayaki Yerba Mate. I just had a shout out them. I don't know if you had Yerba Mate before by Guayaki. It's like this yellow can, bro. It's organic caffeine, kind of like an iced tea. It's like coffee without the crash. So everyone at the studio drinks this because like you don't even feel it, but you have energy throughout the whole night and you don't get a hard crash. So shout out Guayaki. Like they sent me free coupons, stickers, but I'm trying to get them to send cans. They send cans to people they fully sponsor. The studio needs a bunch of the cans. We're drinking that every night, man. So shout out to them for actually engaging with me and responding to my DMs and showing me love on all the social medias. Cliff Bar, you guys are next, man. I eat Cliff Bar every morning. Like, let me be the, if anyone's watching this is a plug to Cliff Bar, they only sponsor athletes. Don't musicians, producers, artists need energy when they're making music? I'm a music athlete, man. I make music's my sport. I need energy, Cliff Bar. Like, come on. All I ask for is free Cliff Bars. You don't gotta pay me like that, but I want to be the first like producer artist on a Cliff Bar. Imagine you're eating a Cliff Bar and it's me making beats or on the mic. Like that'd be hard, bro. Like who's doing that shit? I'm here to change the game. You know how many producers and artists I put onto Cliff Bar? Come on, Cliff Bar. Guayaki's showing me love. You guys gotta show me love too. Come on. I support y'all. I love y'all. All right. I'm adventurous, man. I love hiking. I love geography. I love knowing where I'm at. I love traveling.
Okay. Got you. He said a musical athlete.
That's what I told Cliff Bar, man. They left me on red and shit, man. Like, come on. Like, bruh. Don't wait till I blow up till all these other companies are hitting me up. I'm like, Cliff Bar, I remember you guys.
Hit me right now.
Right now, while it's early, man. Shit, I ain't asking for much. Like, go on for.
All right, this next section is called "What is this?" So I just show you 4 objects. You get 3 tries with each. 3 of them are animals. 1 of them is a person. But it's just another little fun little thing. But hopefully, let me see.
So you're gonna send me these photos?
Mm-hmm. Let me see if it's still recording. Recording? Okay. So I'll send you the first one, and you just tell us what it is. Hopefully in 3 or less tries. Hit the send. Yep. All right.
I just gotta guess what it is.
Yep.
It's like trivia, my knowledge, or what?
Trivia, knowledge, and animals. Because I don't.
Ooh, animals. Okay.
The first.
I had them animal books when I was a kid. All right.
First one. Hopefully it went. Yep. All right.
Oh, easy. Do I show the screen or not?
You could.
Hey, that's a toucan, man. I eat Fruit Loops. Come on, man. Toucan Sam.
Okay. 1 out of 1. 1 out of 1. Number 2. Yeah, you got it easy.
Yo, I want to go to Brazil one day.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yo, I hate bugs. That shit nasty. What in the world? Why is the texture like that?
I don't know.
What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna say that's like a hornet with like keef. You know keef from weed?
Yeah.
Like a keefed out hornet. What's all that yellow dust? Is that pollen or why is it blurry? Like,
I don't know, but nope, that's not it. You get
a wasp. A wasp.
Nope, 1 more.
Damn, wasp, hornet. What the fuck? It's not even a type of wasp or hornet.
I mean, it's kind of in that section, kind of, but I mean, you're close. It does fly.
It's a bee.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. Okay.
No, wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I sound stupid, bro. Like, I really was joking. Like, wasp hornet. Nah, it's a bee. That don't look like a bee. Why is it all like
I made sure
got
I
honey
hit
on
the
it?
hell out these hoes.
There's hella pollen on it and shit. I said that as a joke too, because you guys are in New York. Dead ass bee. It's a dead ass bee. I'm stupid. Okay, my bad. My bad.
No,
Sorry to all the New Yorkers, man. I love y'all. I never been in New York. I always wanted to go. I heard you guys have the best cheesecake. I love cheesecake.
yeah,
I want some chopped cheese and I want halal guys from the actual cart, man. We have the restaurant here. I love halal guys. I want it from the actual cart. And I want to visit, where hip hop started, the Bronx, and check out all the graffiti. I used to be in graffiti, so I have nothing but love for New York. Always wanted to go there.
Yeah, you are very welcome. Come on down.
Hell yeah.
Number 3. Let's see if you get this.
Oh, are they supposed to be edited like that?
Yup.
Okay. I'm gonna say, dang, it's kind of hard to see, but whatever. I'm gonna say it's like a squirrel.
Nope, but in the range.
A gerbil.
Nope. You're closer with the first one.
Squirrel. What's close to a squirrel? Squirrel. Lemur? I don't know. What's close to a squirrel?
No way.
A hamster?
Nope.
Fuck, I really don't know my animals like that, I guess.
Chipmunk.
Oh my man. Bruh. Man, you exposed me right now. I sound stupid. I was talking about Kanye with the chipmunk soul and all that. My bad. I was beefing with this dude named Alvin. I totally forgot what chipmunks were, man. Like, I'm playing.
You let that one slide.
It's a chipmunk. Oh, come on, man.
All right. Last one is a person. Hopefully you know who this is.
Like a celebrity?
Mm-hmm. It's edited too, so be ready.
Oh shit. Yo, I don't know exactly, but he kind of looks like Bieber.
Yep.
Yo, he really got a stash like that. Hey, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Bieber. I always want to work with you, bro. Like, you are a goat. But I used to have a stash like that in college, and people were looking at me funny. They're like, "That ain't it, Lano." I mean, he's Bieber though. Like, he can do whatever he wants.
I think he can win with all that shit. Promise.
Bruh. Why is it edited like that? You ever seen those Jesus photos where it's like you look at the square thing and you look at a wall and you see Jesus?
Hell yeah.
It looks like that shit.
I need to get in that business. Hopefully I get
For all the believers right there. They probably have that on their wall praying to it and shit. Just kidding.
PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm always been PlayStation gang, man. I kind of regret selling my PS3. So I let me tell you why I love PlayStation. Like, my older brother, he's a gamer, right? Shout out to my older brother. Like, when he would play games like, GTA, or like even on the PlayStation 1, bro, we had Spider-Man, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and he would play like all these wrestling games. He would play GTA, we'd play like different, 2K, NBA Live, Madden, all these games from everything. Metal Gear Solid, like Uncharted being my favorite game of all time.
What?
Like, on the PlayStation, like before, and Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty works for both. Like, I had Black Ops, but like when I had before, my fam was strict with me on games. They're like, nah, you could only play 1 hour. That was like what my brother said. And I'm like, bro, I'm in like a Call of Duty or Uncharted deathmatch. I'm waiting in the lobby for a good 20 minutes. I'm like, bro, can we at least start the clock when the match starts? Like, nah, sorry, your hour's up, man. That's enough of you playing. I'm like, man, I saved up enough Christmas and birthday money to get my own PlayStation 3. Oh, it was game over. I'm gonna play how long I want, bro. Like I'm gonna play as long as I want now. So I love Uncharted 2, GOAT game, 3, all that, 4, and man, Call of Duty Black Ops, really, really fun games, and shit, Little Big Planet, who knows that shit? Like
Yeah.
a lot of fun games out there. Thrillville, that roller coaster game. No, that was on the PlayStation 2. But bro, I sold my PlayStation around high school when I started making more music and beats and all that and recording. So I was like, damn, I am focused more on music, but every time someone has a game system, I'm like, damn, wish I had my own. But who knows? Maybe it would have made me less focused. But I think everything's about balance. I think when I reach a certain level, I'm gonna have one just for fun. Like I really try to grind and be like one of the top people in Uncharted. I just couldn't do it. It takes a lot of work. Shout out to all the gamers. They can now live off of their career. That's a beautiful thing, man. We're living in the future right now. Like people gaming for a living. That's fucking awesome. Like hell yeah.
Trying to be me. Trying to be me. I want to be
Your PlayStation gang too?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
I can show you my wall right now. It's all PlayStation games right now. Like literally.
You got Uncharted?
Well, no. I had Uncharted. What was the other one? The Last of Us online. It's crazy.
Ooh, Last of Us. Okay.
Crazy. Oh my god. Like I'm looking at all old school games right now. I wish I could show you. I might take a picture.
Yeah, that's fire, man.
I promise you. All right, number 2. Since you're talking about this, backwoods or papers?
Backwoods all day. Now, I can't afford weed like that. It takes a lot of weed. And backwoods, man, it's a hard ass thing to roll and master. But it's like a luxury. Like, you know, every now and then, like, I don't know, what's an equivalent? Every now and then you have sushi, right? Like, backwoods is like sushi, like top quality shit. You're a fucking king. But, you know, joints will get you by, like 20-piece chicken McNuggets will, you know, like,
Right.
so I can't have sushi every day. And don't get me wrong, I can't have 20-piece nuggets every day, but I could definitely buy 20-piece nuggets every day. I can't buy sushi every day. Not yet. Like,
Yeah, we getting there.
so papers, like, just because ease of use. I mean, I use cones. I can't really roll. I gotta learn. I know. But it cones just as fast, bro. Cones already set up. Fuck it, man. I'm about speed. But backwoods, man, it's always a pleasure when someone could roll that shit for me, or when I attempt to fail.
Backwoods.
Yeah, I like honey berries. My favorite flavor. But I've had the banana one, was pretty fire. Russian cream is fire. Shit, dark stout, that shit's fire too, man. But honey berry, I go with the classic honey berry, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, iPhone or Android?
iPhone, bro. I used to have an Android, and I get it now, man. Sorry, do you have an Android, by the way?
I just broke my iPhone.
Bro,
just broke it. So.
I now understand. When I had the Android for the longest time, I recently joined iPhone gang, like maybe 2 years ago. I remember when I had an Android, bro, and now having an iPhone, I just look at people and judge them in disgust when I see that green bubble, man.
Man, what?
Ew, like
I hate my damn life right now. I swear, my shit broke. I'm like, what the fuck? Can't get it.
Like,
cool was ass nothing.
Like, you're shooting yourself in the foot social status wise when you have an Android. I get it. You want to customize and you got all the cool shit, but ease of use. Like, I have a PC right now. I'm trying to get a MacBook. Like, that's the next upgrade. And there's a lot of dope things about PC. Don't get me wrong. Like, they have its uses, but something about the Apple integration, and they're not the best technology, but just social wise, it's just more useful, and it really is a social status thing. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm just used to iPhone now, and I have like keyboard shortcuts for Mac on my PC, like taped, so I could get used to Mac. Especially when I'm recording in the studio, it's all Mac. So I'm really trying to integrate with Apple with a majority of things I do. But yo, fucking Apple, man, for always just milking the money out of us, saying we need the latest shit when we don't, requiring us to update every time when we don't. Like, Apple, man. Shout out Steve Jobs, rest in peace. But like, man, like, why? They're smart. Marketing 101 right there, man.
Millionaire shit.
Yeah, man.
Shout
out Apple. Huh?
You got my MacBook. That's the only thing.
Hell yeah, man. I want a MacBook next, man. I could do way more with that. especially with music and business and all the visual editing and all that. But you know, Microsoft and PC and Android has their perks. You know, I'm not gonna knock anyone that uses it, but it's hard to not see them a certain way when they got a green bubble. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
shit hurt-
saying.
hurts the soul. I promise you.
I'm trying hard not to judge because I used to be there, but
Oh,
I
you,
get it now, being on the other end. Like,
I'm getting right back on my iPhone. Give me not even a week. Shit. But,
bruh,
all
hope
right,
you get it fixed though, man.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Last one. Fedora or what was that? I didn't get the name of the hat, but I called
It's
it
a beret, a beret.
okay, we
But
call it
it's like a French wool beret, like the artist beret. It's not an army beret. Like it's like what those either artists or fashion models wear. I don't know. People in France wear this shit. I know that's a fact. I ain't racist. I would love to go out of France one day. And now I got this one from K Town here in LA. Like they wear this in Korea all the time too. Shout out K-pop. I recently got into that. And also like I've got the pleasure of being in Korea 2 times so far and met a lot of dope people there. And I bought this in K Town. It's actually from Korea. It's a good quality one, bro. It's a good quality. And yeah, man, ever since I started wearing the beret, I've only gotten compliments from everyone, bro, from everywhere. Like outside walking, in the studio, friends of friends. They automatically think when they see this little easel and this beret, they're like, this guy is somewhat creative. He has to be an artist or something, man. Like it helps what my brand is all about. So I'm running with it. No one in LA is wearing a beret, let alone a guy like me. So like, hey man, it's my thing. I'm really owning this shit.
innovator. Okay.
Fedora is cool though. Shout out Bruno Mars, Shout out Bruno Mars. My Filipino brother.
Last section called Deep Space. It's just deeper questions we ask.
Are we talking about the album after this one too, or
That's
okay,
gonna be number. Shit, we could say that's number 5. But for number 1, describe your home planet in 3 words or your city.
So there's many so LA is a big city. There's LA County. There's many cities or districts or neighborhoods within the San Fernando Valley. But I moved in literally every part. Right now I'm in North Hollywood, but I lived in many parts in the San Fernando Valley that I just say I'm from the 818, the San Fernando Valley, aka the Valley, SFV, all that. So in 3 words, right? 3 words that I think or 3 words what the world thinks? Because we have a certain rep, bro.
We'll say you. Fuck it. We'll say you.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
You don't want to know what we're known for out here in the valley. Just do Google San Fernando Valley. The valley is known for. You'll know. You probably already know. I know you know.
Baby.
Yeah, don't look it up. People that are watching, they know, especially if you're from LA. Okay, what I think the valley represents, right? 3 words. I would say I was gonna say like diverse, but not. I think a better word would be variety. There's variety in the valley. The San Fernando Valley has variety from the different neighborhoods to the different food to the different people to the different landscapes. The valley can really be its own city. I think at one point it tried to break away from LA, which probably is a dumb move, but we still LA, man. We just like our own style of LA. Less traffic for sure, more parking for sure, cheaper for sure. that's why people move into the valley. Like, why are you gonna live in the middle of downtown in West LA, bro? You paying a premium. It's already expensive enough here in California. You might as well go somewhere a little cheaper, but still nice and accessible through freeway to LA. So variety for sure. I'll say home because as much as I love to travel, it's like where I grew up. I love representing it. I would retire here. There's like good spots to retire out here in the valley. There's really nice spots that are low key that like I could actually live out here,
Right.
Like if I had a family and all that long term when I'm older. So variety, home, and the last one would be sick ass foods. That's a term we say, bro. sick ass fool. Like,
Just
bro,
got
I
the
love
food,
saying
man.
that shit. That's like some LA shit, but we say that a lot in the valley. Like, it's like homie, like when like, oh, he is sick ass fool, or when you see something cool, yo, sick ass fool. It's like Latino culture has a huge influence in LA, let alone the valley. So
Right.
we said that a lot in middle school and high school. I say it now whenever I do music with people. Instead of like, if it's the homies we make music, they do something fire. I'm like, yo, sick ass fool, sick ass fool. Like, that's our thing. So variety, home, sick ass foods, because we're people don't even know how much dope shit is out here in the valley. The amount of studios out here, the amount of creatives, the amount of like culture. You really get a lot of Latino culture, Asian culture, like rare people from rare parts of the world like choose to live here too, man. I think it's a little bit more manageable than the hectic, overall grand scheme of things in LA. So, but we're still LA County, so I still say LA. Yeah.
Okay,
Variety, home, and sick ass foods.
okay. Gotcha. All right. Number
Shout out
two.
to 818. Yeah.
Okay, 818. Number two. If one person in life you could have a deep conversation with about anything over one dinner date, who would it be?
Deep conversation over dinner. Don't worry, I won't say Jay-Z. I already know everyone's gonna say
We all know that.
that. Deep conversation over dinner. Um, Damn, there's like a list of people in my head. I'm trying to see who's the most, if I could only choose one. Do you want to break it down to like music, entertainment, non-music and entertainment?
Shit.
There's people from all aspects of life, not even music, that I would love to like talk to and shit. And
Fuck it. Since we're on music.
music, okay, a music person, deep conversation over dinner. Um, whose brain I would love to pick the most that is actually down to communicate effectively. Because there's a lot of dope people that I don't think the conversation is gonna go as well because they're just not that person. Huh?
They'll go straight left with him.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like people that have done previous interviews and they're really like they could really communicate stuff in conversation. Um Honestly, I think it would be Kendrick Lamar
Kendrick.
because he's so low key and he's so like he's from LA and like he has so many perspectives. He knows past the music what's important because he's lived it. He's reached this level of success, impact, global icon. He's still young, and I think he can give me perspective that I would really need. It's like him and like Andre 3000. Like one of like those guys. You just know like they're very grounded in what they believe in and what they're constantly learning, and they're very like mindful of what is important in life. Like we saw that from Kendrick in the Rick Rubin interview. Like, so if I could speak to Kendrick, I would ask him so much because he's an artist.
Right.
Kanye, he also producer, Travis also producer, but Kendrick is like he has an artist songwriter perspective. He has that creative vision, coming up with a people that he still works with that he came up with, TDE and all that, like keeping your circle like and coming up with your circle, and speaking your truth. Kendrick has really spoke his truth in all his albums. Yeah, I would love to have a dinner conversation with Kendrick. I think think he would give me some things I would really need to take my career to another level. And you know what's crazy? The 6 degrees of separation, like we're all connected with everyone in the world by 6 degrees.
Never heard of that.
It's like a Malcolm Gladwell concept. I don't know if you heard of that author, but if I know you, you know someone, you go 6 degrees, we're all connected. Like that's how far like we're all connected. I'm probably like 2 degrees away from Kendrick. Like I know someone that knows him. The odds of me actually meeting him and asking him questions and maybe going to dinner, like very small, very, very small. But if it happens, man, that's someone that would actually count because I know he's grounded.
Right.
There's a lot of dope people I admire, but I haven't seen from them previously that they can communicate that honestly, effectively, deep substance.
Right.
Kendrick, man, the GOAT.
Okay. Okay. K-Dot. K-Dot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're almost to the main question that you want. But number 3, what's the purpose for what you do?
Woo! I'm trying to figure that out with each person that I actually like deeply talk to and see how it affects them, right? So I've gotten a couple DMs from people when I was like in producer grind, and these are producer young kids from all over the world. They see me, someone that's Asian, someone that's Filipino, someone that's like Asian American from LA, from the Valley, and like to go on a dope platform like that, to make my own videos, to see me get these wins left and right, and still grinding consistently and seeing the come up. They're inspired, man. They're very inspired, and they tell me that, like, and that to me is like the best feeling of all. Like, wow, that's how I know this is my purpose, because I'm positively impacting people. I've tried a bunch of stuff, but there's certain things I do that like positively impact people the most, and it's the artist and production. It's those two things. um Second part to that question, how do I know what my purpose is? I i try my best to put my trust in God. Like I tell people all the time, like, God willing, like, God willing, if some crazy life event or God tells me like, this ain't it, bro, like, you got to do something else, I'm making it clear for you this ain't it, then I'll try to trust in that. It's going to be a hard one, because deep down he knows and that I care a lot about music and art and production. So I really hope that it's my purpose and that he can use me to positively impact people, because music is a powerful, powerful cultural like power, like, especially if you reach a level certain of success and influence. And there's way more in this industry that use it negatively long term than positively, because positivity don't sell, man. So I really hope I stay grounded, and I tell people around me all the time that if I get to a point where my ego is taking me the wrong way, please check me. Don't be yes man. Put me in the right place, and know why I'm doing this for, to positively impact people through me expressing my story and edutainment. Creatively entertaining people, but also teaching them how I reach a certain level of success, and constantly learning from other people what that means. And to anybody that's trying to find their purpose, I tell them all the time, if you're young, and if you're 40, you're still young. Don't get me wrong. Like, technology nowadays, internet, you have time. Time is on your side, but because time is on your side, you can't get it back. So don't take it for granted. Make every second count. Live, travel, get out of your box, work hard, try a bunch of different things, and when you find something that deeply gives you joy, where you would be doing this regardless if you made money, regardless if you had all the accolades, you would just have fun in the moment, in the process. That's how you know this is what you love to do. But what you love to do, here's the third layer and the last thing I want to say, what you love to do is different from a couple other things. So everyone that's watching, look up this Venn diagram on Google called Ikigai concept. It's a Japanese concept, Ikigai concept, Ikigai concept. It's a 4-bubble Venn diagram. And the 4 bubbles, it says what you love to do, what your mission is, what you could be paid for, and what you're good at. In the middle is like peace and joy. If you could have all 4 of those in life. I'm trying to like have those 4 things. Right now, I have what I love to do, music, right? Artist, producer. I think I'm pretty good at it. Like I'm getting good at it. I haven't gotten paid for it a lot. And I'm starting to see little by little, is this my mission? Is this positively impacting the world? If I could continually get better at it, if I could continually get paid for it, and I could continually making it my mission to impact people positively, I'm gonna have the most peace and joy, because I already love it. Like, I don't gotta love it more. I've been loving it. I'm figuring out how to make it sustainable. Because if you have only one of that bubble, if you have only 2, 3, 4, you don't have all 4 in that Venn diagram. It says, "Oh, you're happy, but you're broke," or you're getting paid, but you're not fulfilled, or if you don't have the mission, you have everything, but you feel useless because it's not impacting the world. It's not. So that's a good concept, guys. I tell my friends all the time that are figuring out their life, like, hey, man, try more things, see what you love to do, see what you can be paid for, see what you're good at, and see what is your mission to positively impact the world. Once you find a middle point of all four, you have peace, joy, happiness, everything, man. That's the goal. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'll definitely look that up right after this. Hold on.
Ikigai concept, Ikigai concept,
Okay.
like a 4 bubble Venn diagram. Google images.
Got you. I made a fucking life chart right there.
Yeah. You're like, damn. You start questioning, like, damn, is this my purpose? Hey, but like Curtis King said, well, first I'm gonna shout out Joe Jitsukawa, one of my favorite, like Joe from Just King Films on YouTube, one of my favorite like comedians and YouTube content creators. I did like his little mentorship program and all that, and he talked about that in his program, the Ikigai concept. So shout out to him for supporting too. He bought one of my shirts. I don't have these for sale no more, but it's I love Japanese culture. It says "Anata no style desu desu." It's like I like your style. It's like in Japanese, it's like a Layno shirt. I do my own merch, yes sir. But he supported me, and then I want to shout out Curtis King again for saying that it's okay to have a hobby, especially a lot of musicians, producers, artists. They trip over, damn, I can't monetize this. It's like, hey, maybe you need to get a day job. Maybe you need to get some other income stream coming in, and you can still do your hobby if that's what fulfills you.
Right.
If I could have all four, that's what I'm trying to figure out. But you know, we're trying to make it work. We're trying to make it's good to have hobbies, whatever that is. To me, film photography is a hobby. I don't get paid for it really. But it's a creative outlet that I do outside of music that kind of also helps music in my visuals. But yeah, man, it's good to have a hobby. Shout out to Curtis King on the helping artists and music producers on their mental health. Some real shit.
All right. Number 4, and then we're gonna answer the big question. Number 4, what does friendship mean to you?
Oh my God. It's a deep part of my life that's like I always have to revisit, man. My circle keep getting smaller, bro. And it's just life, man. It's just life. Especially when you graduate from college, you realize you were so exposed to a social circle, you thought that was the norm. You realize this when you're an adult, priorities get in the way. People will live life. Life hits them in different ways, positive or negative. And you gotta respect that. So I try not to be too like judgmental, egotistical, or feeling a certain way if I don't talk to anyone anymore. Like I think everyone had a purpose in my life, whatever that is. I can learn from it, right? And not everyone's like their purpose is not to be with your whole life the whole way. But the ones that are, I can't not see them who's right in front of me and around me, and I got to stick with them, especially if we're both growing together. It's relationships are a two-way street. So friendship to me is um like it's like brotherhood, man. It's like that's your brother. Like you're gonna support him. Like you're gonna butt heads, but deep down, like you're gonna support them. Like you're gonna call them out when they're wrong because it's out of love. It's the grace that you give them. It's like, hey, I care about you, so I gotta tell you about this. Or hey, you're feeling like you're in a bad situation. If I can't help you right now, I'm gonna try my best to find someone to help you because I care about you as a friend. So a lot of friendship it's hard to find in this industry because we're very business oriented, very transactional. Hey, what can I get out of this person? What can I get out of this person? I don't have too many friends in the industry. I don't think it's realistic to make friends with everyone you do business with because business is business and I got to respect that. But the ones that I could have as a friend, I try to keep them and not forget and try to hold on to them from now until I'm big. So it's very important. It's very important to have people that are good, positively impacting you in whatever aspect in your life, because you are the average of the 5 people that you're closest to. So that's what friendship is to me, man. Like wanting to see someone grow and reach their goals in life, and you're doing anything you can to like support them, even when it doesn't always benefit you. You know what I mean? Because if you're a long-term friend, they're gonna give back in their best timing. Like I have a lot I gotta give back. I have a lot of friends that have done way more for me than I have to them, and I'm forever thankful for them. Because if I was them, I would have left by now. It's like because Leno ain't paying them back soon if he hasn't made it yet. Once believe I make it. Like But with that same token, watch all these random friends come out of the woodworks, even family members. And you know how much I supported you? I'm like, I
Whoa.
don't know, man. I thought you were making fun of me when I tried to pursue this. Now I try not to hold that grudge or anything. You know, I try to let that ego out, and but it's a real challenge, man, because it's hard to forget. You know, you can forgive, you can't forget, man. This ain't Mission Impossible. Pew, like gone, nah. Like I'll forgive, but hey, it's really hard to forget, man. Things aren't the same when you do someone wrong like that, and you know, I try to have as much love and grace for me, but I've been in this industry long enough not to sound jaded, but people do take your kindness for weakness, man. The amount of times I've been used and abused, not in that crazy way.
Right.
Sorry for anyone that has. I don't mean to speak like that, but it's more like, you know, I've gone through shit where it didn't go my way, and it's like, damn, I just got to keep it pushing.
Right.
But that's the industry I chose to be in, man. And but I'm more positive and optimistic because technology, Web3, all these new things, people are getting tired of the old ways, and meeting people that want to innovate and improve how business is done and how people treat each other. Like it all comes down to people. Shout out to my homie Luca. He was at my album listening party. I think it was it yesterday? No, it was 2 nights ago on Thursday. He gave me some good advice because he's winning right now, working with all the big people, getting mixing records. He did stuff with YSL, he did stuff with Donda too, and he's like, all these people that he's around that are successful, at the end of the day, the relationships matter and how you are as a person.
Right.
Like you could only reach a certain level of accolades, but what sticks with people long term and they call you for more opportunities is, hey, was he a good person? Not to say don't be clueless about the business, because you know you might get used like that. You gotta know your value, know your worth, but how do you treat people, man? How do you treat people? So anyone I've done wrong, sorry, but also not sorry. Because I'm gonna stay true to who I am. And if I like for some reason rub you the wrong way, I've grown up to be a people pleaser, and that's not a good trait to have, because you realize like what do they say? Like, I mean, everyone we like that or admire in life, they have haters, man. They have haters. They're not gonna if you're a people pleaser, like something's wrong with you, man. Because that means you're agreeing with everyone. Like, nah, man. Like, stand on your truth. You're not gonna please everyone. Do what's best for you and the people you care about, and that's it, man. And my moral compass is through my faith in God and what I learned through there. And I'm not always right. I'm not always perfect. I make many mistakes, many sins, but I'm always in this learning posture. So when I do wrong and someone can correct me and improve what I'm doing, I'm open to hearing it, man. I'm open to hearing it.
You just
Yep.
fucking truth. The truth, I swear.
Yeah, man. That's it, bro.
All right. The question we know you want. What can we expect next? So your album?
Okay. 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 Macro sense. Macro sense. I'm trying to do 3 albums this year. 3 albums. Yes, sir. I could make music that fast now. I already dropped one in March. I'm trying to do another one in summer. So the one I did in March, right? Like literally a couple days ago, yesterday, the 18th, Van Gogh and the Matrix. In the summer, I'm gonna do one. Here's the title. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Van Gogh in the Valley. It's a West Coast. It's more West Coast sounding, you know. Because
Yeah.
Van Gogh and the Matrix, it's a mix of everything. You know, I'm influenced by Kanye, Travis Scott, Young Thug. When I produce for Billy Rax, I'm definitely influenced by him. So a lot of West Coast artists too, R&B. A lot of influence from everything I like in music. But Van Gogh in the Valley, my second album for the summer, will be more of West Coast. And then the third album, I want to make it more R&B, but we'll see. I haven't had a title yet for that, but it might be Van Gogh into something, like make it just a whole theme for this year. But I'm trying to do 3 albums this year. The one I just put out, one for the summer, one for the fall. So, and then before I got deep in the album, more macro stuff. So 3 albums this year. Trying to do more interviews. This is great because I think I got a lot of what I represent.
Yeah.
And thank you again, Jakir and is it Spaced Outland?
Or just spaced out for
Spaced Out, yeah.
Spaced out land, but regular.
Okay. So shout out to Spaced Out for like just giving me a platform to speak on, man. Nothing but love and appreciation for that. So more interviews. I'm pushing a lot of like Web3 stuff. I got into Web3, crypto, NFTs, um, a little bit of end of last year, and I'm diving deep more into that these past few months. So more stuff, learning how to be involved there, networking, getting in advance, um, more content, music videos, day in the life. I'm doing these day in the life stuff every day. Just TikTok reels, photos, videos, how to visually show what I'm doing when I'm not putting out the album. The in-betweens matter. The day in the life, excuse me, that really helped Larry June and Wiz Khalifa, like these people like build long-term fans because they see how they are as people, and it's like, okay, I'm more relate to this guy. He's not just this guy I can't reach that does the music and thinks he's better than everyone. Nah, this guy is like someone I can relate with. You know, I feel like I know him type shit, but not, you don't know me fully until you meet me. Like, I don't put everything out there. I choose what I put out there. So um more content. I'm really focusing as an artist this year. I'm always gonna produce, always gonna make beats, producing for Billy Racks, producing for myself and people around that I work with. You know who you are. Send beat packs here and there, but not too often. I'm really trying to focus on making songs, features, collabs. I'm trying to do it. Really trying to push myself as an artist. Who's the plug for live shows? I'm trying to figure that out and perform. That's a key aspect as an artist. You got to perform out live. Thank you that things are starting to open up here in LA. I know it's tough and a lot of places have a lot of other stuff going on where it makes it hard, but you know, putting myself out there, like, because music and the music creation, the studio shit, like I got that down. Not saying that I got it fully down, could always have room to improve, but I'm pretty fast with it. I'm trying to do the other stuff, how to put myself out there, perform, build fans, network, collab, travel, all that shit. So really trying to push myself as an artist. Everyone got to be like, who's that kid with the beret and shit? Like, who's Leno? Like, who is this Filipino Van Gogh? Like, who is this guy? Like, I need to be in everything right now. I'm still early, man. I can't say no to a lot of stuff, but I'm thankful that you guys are a genuine, legit platform that like is like giving me a shot. So that's the macro of things. Like this year is the year of the artist for Laynoprod, you know. Um, just trying to do as much music, feed the fans. That's a big tip. My former boss from Producer Grind gave me, feed the fans, you know, feed the fans. So I'm gonna give them more music, more visuals, more chances to interact, talk to them, entertain them, educate them. Sounds like a lot, but this is the life of an artist, man. I see how the artist that I produce for, Billy Racks, I see how he moves. Shout out to him. He's getting all these dubs, man, but it's a lot of work. It's a whole lifestyle. And as far as monetarily, I'm trying to figure out how to monetize a lot of stuff I do. If I got to work a different job, I'm still figuring that out. Just trying to grind and make more money, you know, like Larry June, you know, get this money, like, hey, you know, like just, you know, and then reinvest it back to my career, always reinvest it back in my career, my equipment, my events, my like travel, all that, connections, like really like put the money back into my career, man, because I really believe in myself, and it does cost to a certain extent to do certain things, but anything that I can do for like free out of love and seeing each other grow, I love and respect and appreciate that too. So that's the macro, what Laynoprod is doing. You can expect more music from me, um, more content, everything at Laynoprod. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Laynoprod, one word, capital L, capital P, Laynoprod. You can find me everywhere, man. You can find me everywhere. I keep it real simple. Now the album, right? Should I talk about the album now?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Van Gogh in the Matrix. Here I go. Yeah, I try to keep this short. I'll try to keep this short. 10 tracks, about 30 minutes long. Very digestible album. Van Gogh in the Matrix. Why is it called Van Gogh in the Matrix? You heard it in this whole interview when I started rocking the beret. Always been this artist, you know, throughout my different jobs, throughout my different creative endeavors. I've always wanted this need to express and tell my story, you know. I grew up shy. I realized I'm an extrovert and I get energy from talking to people. And when I communicate and speak my truth, I realize other people go through very similar things. And if I could do that in an entertaining way, such as visually or sonically, it's fun, man. I enjoy it. So the artist in me and being more confident in being an artist and solidifying on a look, a style, a sound, Van Gogh, man. What is Van Gogh known for? He's known for his style. He's known for being actually under like represented, underappreciated during his lifetime. It's not until he passed away. Hopefully, people aren't like that with me, man. Like, God willing, I have this long life to live. But man, everyone that supports me from old till now, like, I appreciate you guys because, man, like it motivates me to keep going. So yeah, Van Gogh, like being in this artist, right? The Filipino Van Gogh. I'm a proud Filipino American. I love being Filipino. I love going to the Philippines. I have nothing but love for my culture. I'm trying to represent us in every way. A lot of people that are Filipino are getting wins. Shout out to every Filipino creative and entrepreneur out there that is doing something like super dope and changing the game and putting us on the map. Like anybody that's Filipino that gets inspired by this or wants to interview me or wants to work with me, please hit me up, man. Let's work, man. Let's fucking work. So Van Gogh now in the main, because I was gonna call the album Filipino Van Gogh, like my alias or on my handles,
Right.
but like I was gonna be like, damn. Oh yeah, I wanted to add this one thing. I'm embracing my artistry more because like the artist I produce for, Billy Rax, Billy RACXX, he calls himself cult leader. Now that triggers some people, but nah, it's like he says it for empowerment, you know?
Right.
And he has this like this character, this persona that he portrays, but it's for empowerment for himself and his actual life that he goes through, and it inspires and empowers other people. And it really captures his essence as an artist. So that really influenced me to be like, I'm the Filipino Van Gogh, you know, like a Renaissance man, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm an artist, man, in every way I do. And I love being Filipino. Filipinos are bridge builders. I'm bridging culture, I'm bridging music, I'm bridging Web 2, Web 3 shit, like different. And I'm learning a lot of that from Billy Rack. So Van Gogh. Now in the Matrix, this came a little later because I was like, I've never actually seen the Matrix up to that point. I've seen clips of it because my older siblings, my family's seen it, the whole trilogy and all that. And then the fourth one came out, which I thought was dope, but I know it got a lot of bad reviews. It's not as good as the first one. But after watching the fourth one, my family at home watched the first one again. And I'm like, yo, this movie's too real. I'm going through this shit right now.
Yeah.
Which pill you're gonna take, Neo? Red or blue? Like, I didn't say the easy Neo. So am I Morpheus or am I Neo? I don't even know. But the album is like in the the glasses on, it's throwing you off. You're like, damn, this guy really in the Matrix, bro. Like, here's a thumbnail again.
You better pick one.
Dodging bullets now. I'm dodging bullets from all the haters.
Hell yeah. Fuck that.
But in the Matrix, because like what's that called? It's like the themes of this album is like escapism versus realism. That's what I tell people all the time. In the Matrix, right? Like people are living in this world, this make-believe world where they're like, da 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 da. But like Neo takes the red one and it's like, oh shit, like damn, this is what's actually going on. But it's for his benefit, you know, has that awakening. So like I think me in life, like these songs even reflect a lot are like fun songs, having fun, like, yo, let's get fucked up, like, yo, let's smoke, let's do all this. It's all fun in the moment, living life and living your best life type shit. Wanting to escape the struggles of real life that I go through, whether that's financial problems, whether that's personal problems, relationships, things with family, things with my own ego and artistry, friendships falling apart, like all of the tough shit I go through, like I'm trying to escape from that through music. That's why I tell people all the time, if my life was A1 and perfect, as you guys might think it is, because I'm always like positive and I smile and I got braces. I gotta smile, bro. Like mom helped me pay for these braces. I gotta smile through the hardships. But like I go through a lot of shit, but in my head, I'm like, man, I'd rather be elsewhere. I love travel. I'd rather be elsewhere. I experienced being in places like Japan, Korea, Philippines. Like I love it, man. But I had to earn to get there. You know, you got to work to get there. So that's where it brings back the reality, the realism, where it's like, okay, have some humility. Kendrick, sit down, be humble, right? Like,
right.
you got to put your head down, do the work. Like, you can't get this is not going to be just handed to you. All these people with all these goals, but you don't want to do the work. You got to do the work. That's one thing that I pride myself in. excuse me, even though I don't have everything figured out, I do the work, man. And people see that shit. My work ethic is like, it's not the best, but it's getting up there, man. Like shout out people like Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe's a good example. Like I say this line in my favorite song in Japan, work every then I woke up, best believe I'm still dreaming, work every day like I'm Kobe off season.
Yeah, going in.
Yeah, because like, you know, Kobe, after the championships, after everything, the off season, he's back in the gym shooting, man. Like
Still going.
first one in, last one out. Like I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to outwork everyone because Kobe didn't have an athletic body like Michael Jordan when he first started out. He worked for that shit. I didn't have this gift of music off bat. I had to learn it. I had to put into practice. I had to trial and error. I had to make many mistakes. Failure is your best friend. If you didn't fail enough in life, you're not doing shit. And you know, when you're stagnant, you're like a plant. You're either growing or you're dying. So if you're not growing, you're dying, buddy. So keep growing, keep working on yourself, keep improving. That realism, that humility to constantly improve, constantly grind, try to figure shit out, try to make things work. If you really want to live this life as an artist that's traveling the world, doing music for a living, inspiring others, it takes a lot of work to get there. So a lot of songs have themes of like, I gotta like wake up and like really work, make sacrifices to attain this lifestyle that I desire. So yeah, that's Van Gogh in the Matrix, man. And I think the aesthetics, I had to go with the Matrix theme. I haven't seen it done really, like from this standpoint, from my perspective, with the beret combo. Like it's a whole look. I just grew out the beard recently. Like is this a whole look, man? Who do you know looks like this, bro? The Filipino Van Gogh in the Matrix, bro. Like oh shit, like
Okay. You gonna do this
yeah.
for the album cover? The pills? You should.
That's what I did, man. I mean, I did like a whole like my NFT character. It's like me with the beret and the shades and the hoodie. Like that's my whole thing. And then I did like a bunch of film photos in Vegas. There was like this hotel we were at that had these crazy neon lights. And I collabed with my homie Skate and Smoke, who does like NFT artwork. And he like made it like a whole like it looks like I'm like transporting in space. Like I don't know if you've seen the cover art, but like that's what it looks like. We collabed on that piece. And what else about the album? Should I talk more about the songs or do I talk about, because I don't want to take too much time. Do I talk more about the songs or like the rollout? Songs?
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to brush over them real quick. You're hearing it first. What each song's about, because I haven't even. I'm gonna start this like weekend actually. I think today. Fuck yeah, it's on my calendar. I gotta put out reels or TikToks of like talking about each song, like what came about it. So the first song, "Baked," right? you smoke weed, bro? Yeah, baked, bro. It's baked. Like it's a song about weed, man. Everyone bump baked on 420. It's like a smoker's anthem, bro. Like, how are you feel? My first opening lines. How are you feeling today? Wonder what kind of weed we smoke. That shit got me so baked. Roll another one, get the tree going. Like that's baked. Like ready to yeah. So it's just a song about weed. Like I didn't know what to write at the studio that day, and me and my homie Charlie Johnstone made this beat with the homie Millsy that sent the loop in, and we just rapped about weed, man. It's a fire song. Like musically, like we were on some shit. Shout out to Charlie for doing a crazy job on that. Second song is called Same Old, right? Shout out to Millsy for another loop, David S. Park for making the beat with me, and the two features, my homie Ant and my homie Russell Groovy. We were here in this room, my room called the Lano Lair. We're just cooking up that beat, and we write and record it to it. And my cousin comes up with the chorus, Russell Groovy. He goes, same old, same old, same. Like yeah, he's like same old, same old. Like that was like, okay, what's the same old things that like here we go again, right? A lot of us talked about women, to be honest, like our past relationships and shit. Like shit, here we go again. Like it's another fun song on some like storytelling shit. It's like if it has this like R&B bouncy groove to it. It's the same key as Baked, so it flows nicely right after it, right? Third song, Four Keys. Ooh, this was one of my, so Baked is one of my favorites. Four Keys, another one of my favorites. Four Keys, shout out to Meek, my co-producer out in Vegas. Like he has his own studio, and like every time I go there, right, I said we make music. We're at the hotel. We set up the mic, the speakers, the beats, all that, the guitar. He had this fire beat with just 808s and guitar. Meek produced it all himself. We hit the wax. You ever do wax? You do dabs? Like that was my first time doing that shit. That shit got me so zooted. And man, we just started rapping on the mic, man. And like I started doing some flows, and like my homie Ant had like the whole chorus written out. I was like, oh, you want to record it? He's like, no, I think you'll sound better saying it. I was like, oh, for sure. Like, okay, let me try this shit. My car don't got no key. Got 4 keys, I can't leave. It's like, it sounds something like YSL, like Young Thug, bouncy, fun shit. Like, it was just a fun song about like, you know, cars and getting fucked up. Like 4 keys, you can interpret that however you want. But like another song about, you know, it's Vegas, bro. Like, you know, it's a fun, that's one of my favorites sonically. Woo, it's a fun song, man. And then Ant killed that verse too, and he made that fire hook. So like shout out to them and Meek also. Track number 4. This is where it gets a little bit more real. Oh shit. Okay. And this album's not just about fuckery. Like, don't worry. It's a track called Up and Down. So Up and Down is actually a song by the homie Charlie, my homie Charlie Johnstone. We were just at the studio. This was early when I just joined the internship, and we have like a training day where we teach the interns how to track and record. So we pulled up a beat that John, my roommate and homie John, who plays the guitars, shout out to John, he did the melody, then Charlie did the beat, added some synths, added some hard ass drums, had like this West Coast bounce to it. It's on some club banger shit. It was fire. And then I thought of the hook while we were just sitting there. I was like, fuck it, I'm gone. I've been up and down for a minute. Cannot switch sides when you're in it. Let that shit go, DJ spin it. Reckon a percentage I own. So it's like, you know, just me being up and down. Like in life, you go through up and downs, but you got to keep it going. You know, you got to keep it going. So that was the hook. That's all I did. I didn't even do a verse, but Charlie did his verse. It was super fire, super vibey. Really flowed with the West Coast shit. So yeah, I had to throw it on the album, man.
Yeah.
And then it leads to the way deeper song, track 5, Matrix. Oh shit, it's only by me. It's only produced by me. No other features on it. Matrix. So the first line I say, wake up every day, take my vitamins. I wasn't given this, fuck your entitlement. So it's like, yeah, I'll earn this, cannot burn this, I'm a fireman. Take that victim shit, put it in a furnace and retire it. Wake up from the dream, escape the matrix. Work hard every day, that's the basics. Yeah, so like, it's just me talking to myself, like, bruh, like you're not gonna be given all the stuff you want. Like, don't get it twisted, man. You got everyone you look up to, they earned that shit. Like they had to connect the dots, they had to put in the hours, sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice to get what they really want. You got to go get it, man.
Right. On
some real shit. So it was like me telling myself that. And yeah, man, I did some trippy like delay effects in the matrix. Like I did some crazy effects as an engineer. It's trippy when you listen to that. That's track 5. In the middle of the album, I had to let people know this is what this shit's about.
Okay.
And you know how like, okay, I said escapism versus realism. You're probably thinking, okay, it was a lot of fuckery. Now it's serious. The rest of the album is going to be serious. Nah, that's predictable. And life doesn't work. You go through good and then bad. And nah, it's everything happens at once. Things take twists and turns. So after a serious song, a random, just fucking around song happens. Track 6. This is a banger. This is not my top 3, but this is an honorable mention and some like a top 4. And like some people, this is their favorite song. It's called Rubies. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ruby Rose. She's fire. I was just high, just recording over a dope beat that my homie Johnum and Russell Groovy made. And they sent this melody to G Nutty, this young producer out in Vegas. Hard ass 808s drums, song called Rubies. I was just smoking some weed, scrolling through Instagram. I see Ruby Rose on my timeline. I'm like, I only like big booty hoes. She gave me tongue in cheek like Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
Bro, and I'm just in my head and like doing these 3 verses in different styles, a little bit of West Coast, a little bit of like Travis Scott shit, a little bit of Young Thug, and like fucking around. Whoever knows Ruby Rose, like have her on the remix, guys. Get her on the remix. It'd be legendary. It'd be legendary. It's a banger, man. Rubies, that shit's a banger,
Okay.
bro. It was a 3-verse song, and like the beat was still going. I'm like, yeah, I could do a 4th verse. Nah, I'm gonna get the homie Garrett. Shout out to the homie Garrett Relo, ill spitter, bro. Like, he killed that beat, man. Like, when he comes in, it just hits, bro. It's a fire track. He was like the best artist for that. So shout out to the homie Garrett Relo for killing that last verse. That was a fun song. It's a banger, man. Rubies. Track 7, my favorite, and my favorite of all on the top 3, the one that got probably the most positive reaction in the listening party and people that weren't able to attend. This song called Japan, bro. Japan. I already cited lines from it a couple times in this interview, but Japan, man. Shout out to the homie Nathan. He's coming later tonight. We got to edit the music video. We already filmed the music video. You see, I knew this was the one. No. I take that back. I didn't think it was going to get that many positive reaction, because even when me and the homie Nathan made it, we were like just in the moment. Like, we thought it was cool, and then the more we listened to it, we're like, oh shit, like this is actually good. But we didn't think it's gonna be like the one everyone likes, you know, because there's no chorus. It's just rapping back and forth on some A-B shit. Like, but man, the Asian strings, that shit was a fire sample, and we added some 808s and made it on some like, again, on some Gunna Young Thug shit, man. Like it's some like, you know, 808s hitting like fire ass like Asian strings, and we're just flowing, talking about our experiences in Japan. We've both been in Japan in separate times, and it's a beautiful place. We would love to go back. And I use it as a metaphor. Like, once I reach a level of success, I want to go back to Japan, you know, like, and just like, but once I reach that level of success, like, I gotta like think about people around me and give back to them. So it's just us painting that picture with a lot of Japanese references, and we're all rapping in triplet flow. Oh my God, it's so smooth. It's so fire. If there was one song that you would like show to everyone and I would pitch to playlists and whatnot, please take a listen to Japan. If there's any other songs that you like, for sure, but I'm really trying to push that one. I already knew that was the first music video we had to do. We did it in Little Tokyo right here in LA, and that's gonna drop next week actually. So I'll probably send it to you, man. But already got to edit it and get it done. Shout out to the homie Nefty. It goes by Nefty Projects. He's been doing my music videos since 2017. He's leveling up as a director, as a videographer, as a writer in film and all that. And I'm leveling up as an artist and a producer. And we're always, you know, I'm around people that want to level up and grow with each other. We're not big yet at all, but we're constantly improving and working organically with our close ones. So Japan, look out for that music video. Track 8, I had to do a Japan part 2, man. I had to do Japan part 2. The homies, again, Russell Groovy and John like, they had this fire melody. I made a beat to it. It sounded like some Japanese shit too. So like, it was the same key. We didn't even plan it. It was the same key as Japan. So I had to make it Japan part 2. And I expanded on it. It's only me on it, no other artist. I had to expand on it. That chorus goes like, that one actually has a chorus. Yeah, how does it go? Oh, I'm going back to Tokyo. Like, that's like the chorus. I'm going back to Tokyo. And I'm like expanding on that idea basically, but without Nathan, like just on myself, from more introspective. I attacked the verse in a weird way. That first verse sounded like some Kodak Black shit, like very fun sounding. That second verse, a little bit more like melodic and whatnot, a little bit more chill. But yeah, it's expanding on that idea. That's Japan part 2. Track 9, Korea. Come on, man. I got nothing but love for Korea as I do Japan. It's on some K-pop shit, no cap. Like very pop, very R&B, very like colorful, lovey-dovey shit. Like, I had to, man. I love K-pop. I'm trying to work with K-pop producers and artists and Korean hip-hop artists and all that. I met a couple of those people in K-Con. I've attended many concerts. I've networked and met them, and man, I've been to Korea a couple times, and it's a beautiful country, beautiful people, and music. They are doing it some of the best music wise. It's so like interesting and diverse and has influences from all these different genres. Visually, they're on their A game, man. Like, you ever seen a K-pop music video? That shit wild, bro. That shit. Say what you want about K-pop, but man, they are global. They are global.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, always I did a fun one. Shout out to this producer named Andrew Chow, this kid from I believe Florida that's also loves K-pop. He made like this beat he sent me a while back. I had to save it for this one. The homie Jack Sai, he did guitars on it. He's a killer guitar player, producer and engineer that I know, and he had a lot of guitars on my previous stuff, and he added fire guitars on this project, made it more funky. And shout out to my homie DPIH, who also goes by OK Soul. He's another artist, producer, engineer, but he also does more singing, more R&B, more melodic trap stuff. He's also like he's Filipino, but he's also into Korean culture and K-pop too. So we had to do it, man. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to do a music video to it, man. It's gonna be on some colorful shit. Might get some choreo in the back. Who knows? That's track 9. So as you can see, there's a lot of like fun shit. It's a fun album. I had to make it sonically pleasing. 10 tracks, man. But the last track, Philippines, I had to end it with some like deep shit, man. But it's still like cool, vibey shit. But Philippines, melody by the homie John again, who's my roommate, killer producer, artist, engineer, guitar player. And he had this fire guitar melody. The homie Charlie Johnstone co-produced, had some keys, some synths. I had the drums, and I had talked about Japan. I talked about Korea. I had to talk about Philippines, man. And Philippines, it's a deep song because I'm basically saying when I go back there, it's very humbling. You know, I'm thankful to be in America. I'm very privileged to be born here and have these resources. But when I go out there, like, it really humbles me. You know, it's a lot of fucked up shit happens there. And I think anything I can do to positively impact or help them, like, I think like that would be super dope. And it's a metaphor again in the song saying like, you know, I got to give back to like, you know, when I'm in Philippines, I got to give back to regardless of where people are from, people that are like quote unquote poor in whatever sense, financially, mentally, if I have the resources and time and energy to help them out, I should to my best ability. Because it's all about people, man. At the end of the day, it's about giving back, especially people that you came from and knowing your roots and valuing culture and all that, and people along the way. If you can make their day better in any shape or form, you got to give back. So that's me telling myself at the end of the album, like, you got to give back. Know where you came from, man. Like, these are your people. So not saying I'm the only person to do it. I'm not no savior. I don't have no savior complex. Nah. But anytime I have a chance to, don't forget about those people, you know? So it's humbling, man. Traveling, like, it really puts perspective. That's the album. And then last thing I want to say is the rollout aspect. I said a lot of the macro, but like I said, music video for Japan dropping next week. A lot more TikToks, a lot more reels of me just being me day in the life, me talking about the songs. More music videos on the way too, Japan being the first one. I'm trying to perform live. I'm rolling out in terms of Web3. I have this NFT, like not of the songs, but like they're inspired by the songs. I do film photography on the side, have a lot of film photography pieces, one of one that are up for auction on the Solana blockchain. If everything I'm saying is gibberish, all good. This is for people that know crypto and Web3. Do you know a little bit about NFTs? Or?
I'll say I try to start my own NFT. I just don't know how to put the shit in the wallet. Like, like literally.
Yeah, you got to get a wallet. So yeah. I'm on the Solana blockchain, so that's Phantom Wallet. But on Twitter, like Twitter, Discord, that's where NFT lives now in terms of social media, and a little bit of YouTube. But you can find a lot of my stuff, my collection. I'm running the auctions, 48 hours each. This current one, this first piece, ends tomorrow. And there'll be always 48 hours all the way from now till 420 is funny enough the last day for the 10th piece, because each piece is for each track. Film photography collab with 2 other NFT artists that did their digital illustrations, and they made it look fire visually. But everyone that cops the NFT, aka is the winning bidder for each auction, gets these benefits. Aside from the actual digital NFT, they get exclusive Laynoprod, this physical beret. But this one doesn't have embroidery. I'm gonna have it embroidered like Lano. Like, it's gonna be some custom shit. I do my own merch. Like I said, I've done hats, I've done beanies. Every time people ask me for some, I'm like the Supreme brand. It's limited run. Like, if you don't cop it now, I'm not making more of them. You know, because I'm gonna be big one day, and everyone that bought a Lano beanie, hat, hoodie, t-shirt from me, they're gonna be like, damn, I got some. They'll probably sell it on StockX or Grail or some shit. But everyone that buys NFT, they get a physical beret, Lano embroidered. I'm gonna mail it to you wherever you are. Hopefully you're in the US, so I don't have to pay crazy shipping. But I factored that in the cost of the NFT. they get a physical printout because it's a square image, right? It's a JPEG. They're gonna get probably 18 by 18-inch photo printout of their NFT so they could physically display it, like frame it, put it as a poster, do any of that. Number 3 benefit, rare Lano stickers, man. Y'all never got one of these Lano stickers. It's like, you know, it's like matte finish, you know, it says Lano, red, yellow, blue is my logo.
Okay.
Nice sticker. It's rare. Like, you're gonna get a couple stickers. 4, you're gonna get exclusive role in my private Discord as a collector. More details to come about that. 5, the winner of each auction gets an exclusive beat, a beat that I haven't sent out by me. All rights to the music to be announced. And the winner, special bonus of the winner of the whole, like the highest bidder of the whole auction.
Mhm.
Like someone just puts, I don't know what, like 100 Solana for some crazy reason. I don't think that's gonna happen, but that'd be crazy. No one's gonna beat 100 Solana. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And you're the highest bidder of the whole entire auction, you're gonna get a custom song by me, written, produced, recorded by Laynoprod. Let's say your name is fucking Kyle. I'm gonna make a song about Kyle. I'm gonna make it a banger, bro. You're gonna get it. All rights to the music to be announced. But hey, man, a lot of real world utility. The utility is mostly in the art and investing in me as an artist. So I'm assuming you're gonna be on Ethereum, but if you know people on Solana or like people on the Solana blockchain, have them check me out on Twitter. I'm running auctions all the way from now till 420, 48 hours at a time. This next one is about to be done tomorrow, 9 p.m. UTC. So I think that's either 5 or 4 p.m. your guys' time in the East Coast. But check me out on Twitter at Laynoprod. That's where I'm mostly gonna post about it. But yeah, man, trying to roll out these NFTs, me being an NFT community, shout out to the current one I'm in right now, Solanders. They really, every mint, they clean up 10 pounds from the ocean. So they have real world utility. They actually take away, they donate to actual ocean conservancy to clean the ocean. So I made a whole custom song for them. They loved it. They made me a custom profile pic. Right now I'm doing the Van Gogh and the Matrix profile pic photos, but I had their NFT, my custom one with the red beret, the blue hoodie, and it was really cool with the shades. Like, that's really cool. And they really raised my Spotify listeners and my followers, and they really love the music. And I'm able to make connects in Asia, Europe, Canada, Australia, US, like all over the world through this Web3 NFT space. And these are real people I talk with, FaceTime on Discord. Like, it's bringing opportunities I never thought were possible in Web 2. So, but I still love Web 2. So all the interviews, the blogs, the performances, the old grind, I'm still like open to it. Anyone that's down and also give me a shot to tell my story. Again, thank you, Spaced Out, Drakir, for giving me the shot, allowing me to tell my story. I know I talk a lot, but man, I'm excited and thankful for you guys. This is Laynoprod, aka the Filipino Van Gogh, aka Layno, and I'm spaced out. Van Gogh in the Matrix. I'm lost.
Matrix.
Someone come save me. I'm in it. I'm in it, man.
You already know. You already know.
Appreciate you, Jakir.